Free means different things to different people. Free is the laughter we share together. Free are the tears of joy on that special day. Free is the ability to express yourself. Free is the air dancing around your fingers. Free feels good, and so does saving. At First Ontario Credit Union, our members always get free checking, free ATM use, free debit, free deposits, free e-statements, and new members get a free gift. Visit freeisgood.ca and get money doing better for you at First Ontario Credit Union.
Hello and welcome back to the Green Valley Sports Complex here in Moline, Illinois for continuing coverage of the 2016 ISC Fastball Men's World Tournament. We're at the undefeated game. Two teams, 4-0 records. The only thing on the line here is a trip to tomorrow's final, and it will feature the 4-0 Toronto Gators taking on the 4-0 three-time defending champion Hill United Chiefs. Lance Winn alongside my partner Kris Abbott. Glad to have you along with us for the ride here. And if you think it feels like a heavyweight bout, it certainly does. These two teams have been hovering around and destined to clash at some point in time. And when you look at both these two teams, Kris, you got to figure that the importance put on this game, being able to save your pitchers, could be the key to winning the championship.
You talk about the pitchers, Lance, Adam Fulkert against Sean Cleary, two of the very best in the world, if not the two best in the world right now. You could make that argument with Cleary winning the World Championships last year, Fulkert winning the ISC, and five-time most outstanding pitcher. And it comes down to this. These guys have been ranked 1 and 2 since the very outset of the year. They were ranked 1 and 2 coming into this tournament. They each marched through their end of the bracket. And you're right. This could be two things, a preview of tomorrow's championship game and also the game that gives a big advantage to the winner.
So, of course, the winner of this will punch their ticket to tomorrow night's final. The loser has a little bit of a task. Kris?
Yeah, the loser has to play an extra game against the winner of the loser's bracket, and that will either be the BC A's or the New York Gremlins, two teams we just saw here on the field this afternoon. But neither of these two teams have played today as Sean Cleary walks out to the mound. So buckle up, Lance. This is going to be a good one.
So set the batting order for the visitors, the Hill United Chiefs. It's Brad Ezekiel that will lead things off. Nico Carrill is in the 2 spot. Nicky Shales will be batting 3. Steve Mullally, as usual, in his usual cleanup role. Jason Hill batting 5th. Mark Johnson hobbling a bit injured, but he has led the team in hitting, and he's in the lineup in the 6th spot. James Todd-Hunter bats 7th. Joel Southern 8th. And Jason Sanford, that's S-A-N-F-O-R-D period, is in the 9 hole. Defensively for the Toronto Gators, it's Thomas Inoka in left, Ben Inoka in center, Thomas Macchia in right. Ty Sebastian's on the hot corner, Shane Boland the shortstop. The all-world Brandon Horn at second base. Big Brad Rona got out of that home run slump last night. He's at first base. And Ryan Boland doing the catching for, of course, another all-world pitcher in Sean Cleary in the circle. So the Diamond's ready, the ball players are ready, and we're certainly ready up here, and we hope you're ready at home following along. Yes, this was supposed to be a 7 o'clock local time start. We're running just a wee bit late here, but we're ready to go here, and it looks like it'll probably be close to an 8:10 local time first pitch.
And Sean Cleary towing the rubber for the Toronto Gators, wearing their stylish all-whites. We talked about this before. I'm a big fan of the all-whites under the lights. Cleary with 24 2/3 innings pitched here this week, 55 strikeouts, a 4-0 record. He's pitched all but 1 inning for the Toronto Gators. As he goes, they will go.
Well, you got the Gators in all white and the Chiefs in all black, so a classic matchup here. Something's got to give. Two teams with perfect 4-0 records, and that's going to change before the end of this ball game. So we'll let the boys settle it as Brad Ezekiel will step in, and he has been a demon in that leadoff spot. 2 leadoff home runs in this tournament.
Yeah, he's been jumping all over the first pitch. Let's see what he does here.
And again, hard hit ball shot through the left side. Base hit for Brad Ezekiel. And again, wasting no time. First pitch swinging and effective once more as the Chiefs roll on, and they got the leadoff man aboard.
Yeah, Brad's now 7 for 15 here in the World Tournament, Lance. It's been a little bit quiet by his standards, actually. I know that's crazy, just under 500, but as leadoff batter, he's doing the job for the Chiefs.
So Nico Carrill now will be the batter, and Carrill has improved over the course of this season, both offensively and defensively. Last night making some good plays, but can't get the bunt down, pops it up, and good communication as Ty Sebastian called off Brad Rona to make the grab, and Carrill not able to execute as he pops out for the first out.
Yeah, you really need your number 2 hitter traditionally in the game of fast pitch to be able to put down that bunt to manufacture a run. And unfortunately for the Hill United Chiefs, Nico Carrill pops that one up. But no fear, they've got the MVP and Nick Shales coming up behind him.
So Shalesy now in the 3 spot. His first look at Adam Fulker, and of course these guys are teammates on Team Australia as Fulker with a pitch up in the zone. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot that it's not Fulkert on the hill, but Sean Cleary. And these two, again, still familiar with Shales being an anchor for Team Australia, and of course, Cleary, your Team Canada ace. Shales, a big cut, and that one's going to drift foul out of play.
With Brad Ezekiel, the runner at first, he brings great speed over there, but Ryan Boland has one of the best arms behind the plate in the game. So it'll be interesting to see John Hill, known for being aggressive with his base runners. Keep an eye on Brad Ezekiel over at first.
And we've often seen the runner in motion for the Chiefs. They've done a good job of being very methodical offensively. Once they get a base runner on, they have 9 out of 10 times cashed them. And hence the reason that they have breezed through their side of the bracket. Cleary missing just outside, actually not missing, painting the corner just outside to Shales to run the count now to 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Nick Shales is batting .615 here in the tournament with 8 hits.
And a big rip on that pitch. Cleary may have gotten away with one.
Yeah, Shales is tapping the bat thinking that's one that I would have liked to drive into the Moline night. Hill United have been the visiting team in every game this week, and they might like it that way, a chance to get on the board early.
Well, based on how aggressive they're being at the plate, I think they are of the mindset of getting on the board first and putting the pressure on the opposition. We'll see if that's the case here, as that one's hit deep, and going back. You can get out of this ballpark. Home run, Nick Shales, a 2-run shot, and once again the Chiefs open the scoring. They lead this one 2-0.
You know what, Lance? A lot of people were talking about the 23 runs the Chiefs put up on Todd's Mudjacking, a team that was clearly overmatched. But the other side of it is the Chiefs have put runs up on everybody. And just like that, now they've got a 2-0 lead on the number 2 ranked team in the world.
So just the start that the Chiefs were looking for, as you saw Bradley Ezekiel aggressive at the plate, leading things off, swinging at the first pitch for a single. And Nick Shales coming through with a mammoth home run to straightaway center to give the Chiefs a lead. And now it's the number 4 hitter in Steve Mullally. And we know what this guy does in crunch time. Hard hit ball, destined for the middle. Bolin over in time. So some good defense there as Shane Bolin showing some range going to his left. Tracked it down and a good throw over to first base for the out.
Yeah, Steve Mullally going after the first pitch. He usually has some good patience, but I wonder if Hill United have decided to go right after Sean Cleary instead of letting him get ahead in the count where he is lethal.
Well, you have to figure that's the case, but again, these hitters have been doing that all week and been very aggressive. And I think once you get into those trends where teams start figuring out what you're doing because you're doing it all the time, you need to change it up. And these two teams very familiar with one another, so it's a good idea that you sort of buck the trend.
The other thing about this Hill United lineup, much like the Gators lineup, it doesn't get any easier. Jason Hill coming to the plate, 273, 2 home runs and 7 RBIs.
And that's a modest batting average for Jason Hill. But again, Hill's one of those kind of guys that thrives under the pressure situations in the big games. He's not too worried about the games leading up to this. He knows that someone on his team will always be able to step up and fill the void. But when it comes crunch time, Jason Hill is certainly one of the guys you want up at the plate for you.
Well, just a year ago in Indiana, Jason hit one of the biggest home runs, if not the biggest, of his career.
That ball's flared out to center field, and tracking it's Beninoka to retire the side, but not before the Chiefs strike first again. A 2-run home run from Nick Shales, and they lead this one 2-0 with, of course, the Gators to bat.
The law firm of Fireman Steinmetz Dea built its reputation on getting fair compensation for victims of serious personal injury or catastrophic claims. With a combined 90 years of experience and a fierce dedication to achieving results, Fireman lawyers have recovered millions of dollars every year for our clients. Whether you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident, a slip and fall, or as a result of any other act of negligence, when we represent you, we're committed to getting the results you deserve. With the lawyers at Fireman Steinmetz Dea, you are not alone. Contact us through firemanlawyers.com for a free consultation. No legal fees are billed until you receive your settlement. We thank Jack Fireman for his generous sponsorship of the broadcast program. First Nations Payment Systems strives to deliver innovative and secure solutions that benefit merchants everywhere. We can help you decrease your costs and increase your revenues. With more than 1 million merchant locations using the First Nations Payment Systems platform worldwide, you can't go wrong by making the switch. When you partner with First Nations Payments, your clients will benefit from our world-class payment experts, support staff, and cutting-edge technologies. To learn more about how First Nations Payments can help your organization, contact us through our website at firstnationspayments.ca. We thank First Nations Payments for their generous sponsorship of the broadcast program.
Batting order for the second-ranked Toronto Gators. Beninoka will lead things off, followed by Brandon Horn. Ryan Bolin is the number 3 hitter. Wayne Laulu is the cleanup hitter. Brad Rona bats 5th. Shane Bolin in the 6th spot. Thomas Sanoka bats 7th. Thomas Macchia is the number 8 hitter, and Ty Sebastian round out the 9 for Toronto. Defensively, the Hill United Chiefs, similar to last night, you've got Mark Johnson out in left field, Brad Ezekiel in center, and Nico Carril in right. Nicky Shales on the hot corner, James Todhunter, a mainstay at short. Joel Southern plays second base. Steve Mullally at first, and Jason Sanford catching for Adam Folkert. So a good matchup right here, Adam Folkert and Beninoka. Got to remember, of course, the number of times that Australia and New Zealand have met in international competition, and you got to figure that these two have faced each other a number of times. And first pitch is in there for a called strike from Folkert.
Last night, Lance, we saw Adam Folkert, I hate using the term, but kind of pitching with a chip on his shoulder. in the game against Scarborough, and he was very, very effective.
And that pitch from Anoka lifted up. Nico Carrill, long run, makes the grab. So Nico Carrill doing a good job out there in right field. Tracks that ball down and records the first out of the bottom of the first inning.
Well, you alluded to it earlier, Lance. Nico Carrill had a great play to end the game last night and a nice running catch to start the game here tonight for the Hill United Chiefs.
Well, Nico Carrill's done a good job of really improving his game both offensively and defensively. Defensively in particular, he has really stepped it up. Brandon Horn steps in the left side batter's box and looks at a ball up.
Yeah, Kevin Wallace behind the plate tonight making those decisions from Shipman, Illinois. Mike Morrissey is at first base and Brandon Bloom is down the third base line. Bloom from Washington, and Mike Morrissey, of course, we had on the broadcast last night from Peterborough, Ontario.
So that crew back in action, and no rest for Mike Morrissey, back-to-back games, as he did the home plate a game ago. And Folkert missing down, and if you've never seen Brandon Horn bat, you are witnessing probably the most disciplined hitter in the game right now. Rarely does he swing at anything out of the strike zone. And with a 3-0 count here, Folkert comes right at him, and a 4-pitch walk from Adam Folkert as Horn will make his way down the first base.
That is the second base on balls for Brandon Horn here this week, and it is the 6th walk for Adam Folkert, who has been a little bit high on his walks total, but I'm sure it's something that he'll clean up as this game goes on.
Well, like we were talking last night about Adam Folkert, because he set the bar so high, anything that he does kind of makes you wonder just a bit. A 4-pitch walk again, same thing happened last night's game. And of course now you've got Ryan Boland stepping in there and taking a pretty healthy hack but fouling it off.
Yeah, Ryan's just 3 for 11, but again, you talk about guys that do it in the clutch. A huge home run last night to get the Gators on the board in their game against the New York Gremlins, and that home run really changed the tide of the game and eventually led to the demise of Andrew Kirkpatrick.
So it just seems that with good teams, someone different every night seems to step up and get the job done. And we'll see who steps up tonight, as Folkert missing a big lead taken by Horn as he scampers back to the bag.
So that's 6 of 7 pitches out of the strike zone from Adam Folkert. Means one of two things. Either he's not hitting his spots or the Gators aren't chasing out of the zone.
Well, it could be both when you put it that way, Chris, for sure. As that pitch missing up. And you're right. Not the pinpoint accuracy that we've seen, but again, we talk about a different regimen for Adam this season, where he spent most of his time back home as opposed to riding the circuit and playing in all the tournaments throughout Canada and the U.S. So it may take him just a little longer to get in that rhythm. That ball is laced out to right field, base hit. Rounding second and into third is Horn. So something going on here with a hit from Ryan Boland. And there are runners on the corners now for big Wayne Laulu.
Wayne Laulu is batting .300. He's got a triple, a home run, and 2 RBIs. And a dangerous, dangerous man to have at the plate. And the Hill United Chiefs are really thanking their lucky stars for the 2-0 lead they earned in the first inning, because the Gators are knocking on the door.
Well, this Gator team, very similar to the Chiefs in their offensive prowess. They can put up runs in a hurry. And when you talk about Laulu, you're talking about someone that can lose a ball in the blink of an eye. And the way Folkert pitches, if he gets a hold of one here, it's going to be trouble. One away here, 2-0 the score in favor of the Chiefs. Bottom of the first inning, and Folkert starts him off with a high drop. And that might be your best option, either something way up in the zone and try to get Laulu to chase it, or low into the ground and get him to pound it into the dirt. Laulu takes that rise ball and lifts it a mile high. It's staying, looks like just outside of the fence. So a mad chase from Todd Hunter and Shales, but neither can come up with it as it drifted on the other side of the fence for a foul ball.
Well, that might have been a blessing in disguise for the Hill United Chiefs, because if that ball is caught, you got to figure that Brandon Horn at least is coming in to score.
That is true. 0-2. The question is, would you rather have taken the out in Laulu? As Folker does a good job of wasting a pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. You definitely take the out, because Brad Rona, who's rounding into form, is standing on deck, and you'd rather have him up with 2 outs.
And that pitch, ground ball to Folkert. He's going to come right home, and Sanford slaps on the tag. Probably not the best idea by Brandon Horn to run on that play. The only player on the diamond that he shouldn't have gone if it was hit to is the pitcher, and that was the case there. So 1-2 in the putout. Laulu at first base, and Bolin moves over to second. Horn is gunned down, and they're 2 away for Brad Rona. And you talked about Brad Rona, home run last night. Is he rounding into form? We'll see here. A big test for him and Adam Folker.
Well, he took the other Australian, Andrew Kirkpatrick, deep last night. Brad Rona is an equal opportunity ball swatter, and I'm sure he would be happy to oblige Mr. Folker right here.
He will, but if he gets a steady diet of those pitches he just got there up and in, not a whole lot you're going to be able to do with that. And Folker goes outside for a strike. So 2 impressive pitches in on the hands, but right at the numbers. The first one, then he paints the outside corner, and the count now 0-2.
Yeah, Adams loose now.
And looking to just nibble, pulled it just a bit further outside, and the count 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 away, 2 runners on. 2-0 the score in favor of the Chiefs. Gators looking to answer. They're going to need a clutch hit here. And Rona taking that pitch as Folker tempted him with that rise ball.
Yeah, that's the veteran batter at the plate in Brad Rona. He saw that pitch coming up, and as much as he would have liked to offer at it, knew it would be out of the zone.
So a 2-2 count. And that pitch fouled off. So Rona had a good twist there at that one. Not able to keep it in between the lines, but timing-wise, he was right on it.
Be interesting to see if Rona singles here. Laulu and Bolin don't represent the biggest speed threats on the base pass. You see a ball coming in from another field. So we'd be watching the plate. Obviously, world-class outfielders all over the outfield for the Hill United Chiefs.
I think it's going to depend on where the ball is, and usually if it's a single from Brad Rona, it's probably hit relatively hard. So you're right. It's going to take some good wheels. They're good arms out in the field for these Chiefs.
Already had one play at the plate this inning.
And Folker looking to go outside and just missing. So that'll run the count full. 3-2. 2 away.
So the runners will be on the move here on the pitch regardless. So Boland and Laulu will get a jump.
And that pitch is again fouled and drifts into foul territory down the right side.
Yeah, just missing that wood-fired pizza tent down there, which I didn't hit up today. I got into the ribeyes, but great concessions here at the World Tournament.
Well, good that we've got you to officially test and clear it for us so that we know what's good and what's not so good.
It's all good.
So we'll do it one more time, 3-2 count. And that pitch by Rona flared the other way, but that's foul. So going with that pitch and doing a good job was Brad Rona. And we'll see now if Folkart doesn't try to bust him inside. And if that wasn't a bit of a setup pitch.
Well, Rona's not getting fooled by much here. Adam's going to have to make the best pitch of this at bat because Rona is hanging tough and there's two base runners on the move with each pitch.
I think maybe you got to try and get him to chase that rise ball. You don't want to leave anything over the middle of the plate with Rona, or it'll get parked somewhere out in one of the fields, but on the other side of the fence. And that pitch laced up the middle, base hit out there hard. Rounding third, the throw comes in on the money, and he's safe as not able to slap on the tag was Sanford. A good slide from Bolin.
Wow.
A good throw from Ezekiel out there, but Brad Rona with an RBI single has cut the deficit in half. It's now 2-1.
That's the exact situation we were chatting about, Lance. Brad Ezekiel came up with that on the short hop. Now John Hill's come out to ask how in the world did he get around that tag. And while Boland isn't the fastest runner in the world, he is a smart runner. He found his way around Jason Sanford and found a way to the plate. And umpire Kevin Wallace was right there and very emphatic with his call. And that's the biggest part if you're an umpire. Be sure about your call and stand by your call.
So Shane Boland now will step in with runners on the corners and 2 outs. A 2-1 ball game here as these two heavyweights counter punching. And another hit and this game could be tied as a big cut there from Boland, but he fouls it off.
Yeah, Shane Boland coming to the plate. His older brother Ryan just scored. Big family affair for the Bolands here. They've got Ryan's wife Stephanie and Shane's fiance Courtney. Mom Janet is here, and also their grandmother surprised them at the hotel the other day, which is very neat. And they're all just sitting off to our left here in the grandstand.
So always good to get that family support as Folkart missing out. So that'll run the count even at 1-1. So as expected, this first inning, a wild one. And a swing and a miss from Shane Boland.
Yeah, Shane's deep behind in the count here, but he's a smart hitter. 1-2 is the count on Shane. He won't be deterred by that.
And didn't get him to chase that rise ball. A good waste pitch from Folkart.
Well, Lance. I was going to say that's the difference in some of the teams we've seen here this week. You're not seeing players on either side here chase that pitch out of the zone that they're looking to get the K on.
And he comes with a hard drop, so that'll run the count full now. 3-2. And again, Folkart looked like he could have gotten out of this jam, but a good at-bat from Brad Rona, who, like you said, is rounding into form. And missing outside, snap throw down the third, but the call was a strike. So Shane Boland caught looking, but not before. The Gators respond with 1. They trail this one, 2-1 the score. After 1 complete, we're headed to the top of the second in a moment.
At Cooper Tire, we make tires for people, not just cars. Our brand promise is that Cooper Tires perform on the road so drivers can perform everywhere those roads take them, because life is a journey. From the everyday motorist to the most demanding high-performance off-road and motorsports enthusiasts, we have tires for you. Cooper Tire is proudly based in Findlay, Ohio, and we have manufacturing, sales and distribution, technical and design operations within our family of companies in more than a dozen countries around the world. Visit us online at coopertire.com to learn more. Cooper Tire, proud of where we've been, confident in where we're going.
Murphy's Fish and Chips is not only a great place to get some of the best seafood in Canada, but is also one of the best fastball sponsors in the game. Voted Nova Scotia's best fish and chips by Eastlink TV, Murphy's is a family institution since 1996 and a proud fastball sponsor of many Canadian and ISC championship teams. Open 7 days a week. Come join us for our famous English-style fish and chips or any of our daily specials. Murphy's is located at 88 Esplanade in Truro, Nova Scotia. We thank Dave T. Anderson and Murphy's Fish and Chips for their commitment to fastball and the broadcast program.
Welcome back to the Green Valley Sports Complex here in Moline, Illinois. Lance Winn alongside my broadcast partner, Kris Abbott. Blair Setford and Joe Todd also in full effect here. Glad to have you along with us for this fantastic ride here.
Yeah, I just saw Joe when I was down walking around between games. He pulled himself up a front row seat for this one. And, of course, nobody closer to the action than Blair Setford, who is also doubling as a coach with the Toronto Gators here this week.
Well, Joe is actually down close with the radar gun. And the home run Nick Shales hit, Sean Cleary's pitch was 73 miles per hour. And Adam Folkert's best pitch of the last inning was 78. So certainly not the velocity these guys are capable of. But again, we're early in this ball game as you take a look there at Mark Johnson, who looks at a called first pitch strike, and Mark Johnson's having himself a whale of a tournament.
Mark Johnson is leading the tournament in hitting at a .667 clip, 8 for 12. He's got 3 home runs, 12 RBI, but he's also got a bad wheel as he hurt himself a couple of nights ago.
Well, he tweaked the groin, and that's been the problem. He's not able to, has trouble moving laterally. Usually with the groin, you're okay going forward or backwards, but anything to the side is where you really feel it. So going around the bases or turning the pivot and chasing down a ball are certainly going to hinder him with that injury, but not enough to take him out of the lineup here.
No, Johnson's a gamer. He's not going to want to miss any time unless they've got to carry him off the field, and as long as he doesn't hinder the Hill United Chiefs, he's going to be an asset for them, and of course, as we mentioned, the leading batter in the tournament.
Well, had 2 hits last night and was hobbling around the bases, so still very effective here as Cleary comes right at him. Good pitch on the inner part of the plate.
Yeah, you see Johnson there take a look back to Kevin Wallace, and he didn't quite agree, thought it was inside, but we could see from our vantage point it was curving in over the corner.
So full count now, 3-2 to Mark Johnson. And that pitch, we're not quite sure. There's been no signal, so I guess that would indicate a ball.
I guess the count wasn't 3-2, must have been 2-2.
It was 2-2, I guess, and Ryan Boland was ready to snap that ball down to third base for the strikeout. And everything just kind of stopped. So 3-2 is the count now to Mark Johnson. 2 runs put up on the board by the Chiefs in the first. The Gators answered with one of their own in the home half, and now in the top of the second here. This is the leadoff man in Mark Johnson. And a swing and a miss. So Johnson goes down swinging, something you haven't seen too often this week. And that will bring up the number 7 hitter in James Todd-Hunter.
Todd-Hunter had a good game at the plate last night. He homered, and he's only got 4 hits in the tournament. He's 4 for 12, but he had himself a good game last night, got 2 hits alone in the game against the Scarborough Force.
Well, that's what you need. You want all your players to rise to the occasion and deliver when is needed, and certainly last night that was an undefeated game, and this, of course, the undefeated game. So we'll see if Todd-Hunter can't up the ante here and continue his stellar play on the big stage.
Todd-Hunter completes the Australian middle infield for the Hill United Chiefs with Joel Saltham, who is on deck. Southam got his first hit of the tournament last night. It was a long home run to right field. And then he very nearly had one from the other side of the plate. He hit the top of the fence, looking to go all Eddie Murray on the tournament here.
Well, he was got a good chuckle when you mentioned that to him after the game, as that ball laced out to center field. Solid single from Todd Hunter. Big turn, and he will find his way back to first base with a single. So with one away, runner on for Joel Southern. And you got to figure that he's feeling a lot better after getting that first hit yesterday, last night, that is.
Yeah, he had a home run and a triple, now 3 RBIs in the tournament for Joel. And he's a player who, when they had the Hill United Rock Invitational over in St. John's, Newfoundland this year, that I got to meet and actually got to have a chat with him for about an hour and just really enjoyed his company. We're about the same age. He's got a young family at home back in Australia. So real nice guy, Joel Southam. When I, the Newfoundlander, have trouble figuring out what he's saying.
I don't know. I find that hard to believe, but I know that anyone that wanted to eavesdrop on that conversation was probably out of luck.
Yeah, so we could have had that one over the loudspeaker. It wouldn't have mattered.
I'm pretty sure there are going to be people still shaking their heads, Bye. So So Cleary working hard here. No rest with this Hill United lineup. 1 through 9, extremely strong. Runner on, one away. And that ball driven out deep, and you can get out of this ballpark right now. Home run, same spot as last night. Joel Southern, a 2-run shot, and in a blink of an eye, 4-1 in favor of the Chiefs.
Joel Southam, Lance, as I said, had no hits through the first 3 games of the tournament. Certainly it didn't bother him. Now he's got 2 deep bombs the last 2 nights and a 4-1 lead. Sean Cleary has now given up 2 home runs here in the first 2 innings.
Well, you know what? I said, wow, you must be pretty close to bring that up to him, but he chuckled at that and clearly way more comfortable and confident at the plate. And boy, that was one heck of a hit off Cleary there as Jason Sanford steps in. And that's a tough act to follow, a 2-run home run. And just like that again, the heavyweight bout continues as the Chiefs have put up 2 this inning, courtesy the long ball.
Doesn't get any easier. Jason Sanford's got a .455 batting average, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs here in the World Tournament, and he's the 9 batter. And of course, Brad Esigal waits on deck, so you can't take any batters, any pitches off.
No, that's your number 9 hitter, and he's still producing, and that's the reason why they're not only the top-ranked team, but they're also the 3-time defending champs, and they're here again for a 4th straight year playing in the undefeated game with a trip to the final on the line.
And I know it's still early, Lance, but tonight Adam Folkert has the opportunity to win his 23rd straight game, which would tie Gerald Muselar for the record in ISC history. And the Hill United Chiefs have been a big part of that here for Adam Folkert.
They have, and they've always given him the support as Sanford, a high chopper, and it's a fair ball. Good play there by Ryan Boland. Stayed with that and got it down the first in time to record the out. 2-3 on the putout. And that will take us back to the top of the shop in Brad Esigal. And Bradley, of course, first pitch swinging to lead off the ball game. Stroked a single to left and came around the score courtesy the home run from Nick Shales.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if Ryan and Sean give Brad a strike here on the first pitch. He's been doing it all week, and actually Ryan and Brad play on the same club team back home in Newfoundland and Canada, and they play against Sean Cleary all the time.
So there's a bit of comfort there.
And looks like Justin Schofield is shuffling around, getting loose in the dugout. We'll see if he goes out to warm up anytime soon for the Gators.
Well done on your part. as that pitch from Cleary is in there for a strike. So again, they started Ezekiel off with a strike, but it certainly wasn't a good pitch for him to drive. A low drop ball on the outside corner. And Cleary comes back working the other side, but missing in. So a 2-run home run has restored and actually given the Chiefs a 3-run lead here, 4-1.
And interestingly, down the right field line, Pablo Migliavaca is warming up for Hill United. Or, you know what? Check that. Adam Folkert is down there staying loose here in the nightcap. Very interesting.
Well, and that's something you wouldn't have seen before. Adam, of course, a very heavy schedule last year. And that ball, a tough shot right up the middle for Bradley Ezekiel. And he's going to stretch that out into a double, sliding in safely. So good base running as you saw Beninoka bobble that ball out there. And Ezekiel took the extra base, 2 for 2. He is. And again, something going here with 2 out for the Chiefs.
And that's why if you're a young ball player watching at home, you always run hard to first base and round first base hard. The ball took a few hops and then short hop Beninoka. He didn't come up with it clean, and that allowed Brad Ezekiel to turn that single into a double, or we'll see what they scored if it's a single and an error. Either way, he's now on second base for Nico Kirill, and Terry Bader's come out to have a chat with his Toronto Gators starter, Sean Cleary.
Well, I think it's a good job by Terry Bader to settle the infield down. A very intense game. You had to know everyone was pretty ramped up here when the game started, so good to see Bader take the initiative and kind of regroup and pull his team together. And we'll see how they respond as Sean Cleary does a little landscaping. And he will see Nico Kirill, who popped out in his first at-bat. So not bad when you're getting your second at-bat in the second inning. Says that your team's definitely hitting the ball.
And a chance for Kirill to atone for that failed sack bunt. Now things have certainly changed since that point. Hill United have put up 4 runs, but you know, we talked about it already. They put up 23 in their first game, maybe inflated their stats a little bit, but they haven't stopped. They've beat up on everyone, including the Scarborough Force last night, and now tonight the Toronto Gators.
Well, you're sounding a lot like Blair Setford talking about inflating the stats. I don't know about that. And I say that only because, like you said, not only have they been doing it to everyone, but they didn't make the schedule and they didn't put the other team out there. They've got to be methodical about everyone they play, and you got to remain focused. So if it takes 23 runs, it takes 23 runs, and that's what happens when you're the number 1 team in the world. And Kirill chasing that rise ball from Cleary.
And Lance, I don't necessarily disagree with you at all, especially for Hill United, who were coming off an ASA major tournament where they lost 2 games in a row for the first time in maybe their history. So they had something to prove, and they have proven it thus far here this week.
So again, 4-1 the lead for the Hill United Chiefs here. 2 out. 0-2, Kirill, that one's straight up. That looks like right on top of the roof here, the press box. So no chance for Kris Abbott to grab that ball as a souvenir.
No, my fielding percentage is still very low here on the weekend, and anyone who saw my career knows my fielding percentage was at 750 at the best of times.
Right. But you could hit the ball, right?
I could hit the ball sometimes. It depends.
Well, you can't run with that Abbott last name and not be able to hit the ball.
Well, that's the problem. I was always compared to Colin, and how do you deal with that?
That ball chopped foul. I don't know, but I feel your pain and glad I'm not in your situation because those are big shoes to fill.
The only thing similar about myself and Colin Abbott on the softball field is our helmet size, I'd say.
Well, we know it's not the small, okay?
No, that's for sure. Down at Sportscraft Source for Sports in St. John's, I found a double XL bucket, I think, on the clearance rack. And,
you did, eh?
Yeah.
And it fit perfectly.
I had to take the padding off the inside.
Nicely put, nicely put. So Sean Cleary here battling, trying to get the final strike here. And he gets it, took something off, and sat down Kirill. So 2 strikeouts in the inning, but the blow was a 2-run home run from Joel Southern. And just like that, it's a 4-1 lead for the Chiefs. We're headed to the bottom of the second.
Why do you play? For 100 years since 1912, Worth has been helping top athletes answer that question. Whether it's for strikeouts or home runs, the Worth K-Master 120 is the best ball in men's fast-pitch softball. And there's nothing soft about it or you. Worth is proud to be the official ball supplier to the ISC. Visit worthsports.com for more information on Worth products, including the K-Master.
Whatever your delivery requirements are across North America, Skelton Truck Lines provides you with reliable, safe, and high-quality service at a fair price. Skelton Truck Lines equipment is satellite tracked and delivers small parcel, less than truckload, and expedited shipments throughout Canada and the U.S. With over 50 years of experience and more than 50 trucks serving 4 divisions, Skelton Truck Lines is a thriving Ontario business and a proud fastball sponsor. Visit us online at skeltontruck.com. Thanks to Mike Skelton for supporting the broadcast program.
Welcome back here to the Green Valley Sports Complex in Moline, Illinois. Lance Winn Kris Abbott in the midst of the undefeated game. Winner of this game, of course, punches their ticket to tomorrow's final. The loser will have to drop down and play another game in the bracket to earn that right, as Adam Folkert will start Thomas Inoka off with a ball down low.
Thomas Inoka leads the team in hitting coming into tonight's game, 375. And another interesting stat for the Gators, they've only put up 3 home runs in the tournament, and a team stacked with power. You got to think they're going to be looking to maybe flex some more muscle here as the weekend goes on.
Well, you know what, and that, of course, can be attributed to the fact that the Chiefs, with that game against the Mudjackers, they actually had 7 home runs in 1 inning. So that, again, will go back to a bit of inflated stats, and I would agree with that. The Gators, though, have also been very prolific in cashing in runners, so they haven't used the long ball, but they've used multiple hits and extra base hits to get the job done.
Absolutely. Ryan Bolin leading the team with 5 RBIs, but Thomas Inoka has 3 to his credit. The only way he'll get an RBI on this at-bat is if he yanks one over the fence in the outfield.
Well, the hitters count 3-1. And that ball up the middle, base hit for Thomas Inoka, so he stays hot. And the Gators have the leadoff man aboard with Thomas Macchia coming up.
Very interesting to me, Lance, that with maybe the 2 best pitchers in the world on the mound, that it's the best hitters in the world that are getting the best of it. And you know the old saying that pitching beats hitting every day. Well, maybe not on August 19th here in Moline, Illinois.
Well, we've got a long ways to go. A lot's happened in a very short period of time, and a lot can still happen. We'll see if either Cleary or Folkert can actually settle in and find some sort of rhythm. Hard to do as Macchia swings through for strike 1 when you've got such a potent lineup on both sides. Very hard to keep good hitters down for very long.
Speaking of, here's Hall of Famer Thomas Macchia, inducted while still playing, which is rare, but Macchia in right field for the Gators tonight.
And a swing and a miss. Tardy on that drop ball. And he swings over it in the hole now, 0-2.
Inoka has good speed on first base, down 3 runs. I'd be surprised to see him on the move.
The 0-2 wasted upstairs. 1-2 the count. Yeah, I wouldn't expect Inoka to be in motion. But again, we may not be expecting it, and neither might the Chiefs, and they might send him.
Well, the other thing is when you're down 3 runs so early in the game, you can get away with manufacturing as you go on.
Big swing and a miss there. So down goes Thomas Macchia. Strikeout victim number 2 for Adam Fulkert, and that will bring up Ty Sebastian. And Fulkert's strikeout total continues to climb.
Ty Sebastian's the number 9 hitter in the order for the Gators. Back to the top for Beninoka after this.
And Fulkert bends that in there for a called strike.
Ty Sebastian just 1 hit in the tournament. It was a double. He struck out 3 times.
So again, Ty struggled just a bit, but that's the beauty of this game. You can struggle and a couple good at-bats, and you're right on track there as Fulkert missing down and in.
So, I'm still thinking a bit about Adam Fulkert throwing down the line there in the break. He had plenty of time to warm up as the game was delayed over an hour, but there obviously was something he didn't like in his delivery.
Well, you could do that, or maybe he was just trying a different pitch or something he's working on that way and wanted a few tosses to see if it might be game ready. That's a possibility as well. But you're right. Not often you see Adam Fulkert warming up between innings.
Geez, and you know what, Lance? I don't know how many more he could have. The guy's got about a dozen. He can make the ball move in any which direction.
And that's all the hitters need is Adam Fulkert with another pitch.
Jason Sanford's running out of fingers in there to make the call.
3-1 to count. 1 out. And missing down. So Fulkert issues a walk to Ty Sebastian, the 9-hitter. And that'll take us back to the top in Beninoka.
The second walk issued by Adam Fulkert tonight. And the tying run comes to the plate just like that.
So the Legends continues around us here as the Durham Bulls leading 4-2 in their ball game. They're in the 3rd, taking on the Waterloo Legends. So an all-Ontario matchup over there in diamond number 6. Fulkert here, hard shot. That'll find its way to the hole. Rounding 3rd and coming in to score is Thomas Inoka on an RBI single from Beninoka. And the score now is 4-2.
Yeah, real interesting game brewing between these two teams. And John Hill scratches his head. He's going to take a walk out to the mound. And his Hill United Chiefs have a lead. They're facing Brandon Horn, one of the best clutch hitters in the world, and only 1 down. The Toronto Gators are beating on the door. And this is not unlike the New York Gremlins game we saw earlier against the A1 Bombers, where the teams just went back and forth.
Well, sometimes teams are so familiar with the aces of each squad, they kind of cancel each other out, and it comes down to which team can cash in the most base runners. And the way this game is going here, 4-2 in favor of the Chiefs, with the Gators still threatening 2 men on, 2nd and 1st, with 1 away for Brandon Horn.
Horn's got 4 hits in the tournament, a double and a triple among them. Yet to have an RBI, but this would be the ideal time.
Horn walked and was left stranded. Actually, gunned down at the plate in the 1st inning.
Yeah, a chopper hit back to the pitcher by Wayne Lalu. Maybe thinking that Fulkert would try and turn 2. Horn was hustling home, but he was met there by the ball and Jason Sanford.
So Fulkert back to work here. Horn on the left side. And he comes on the outside for a strike. So no balls, 2 strikes to count to Brandon Horn. 4-2 the score. Gators threatening again here in the bottom of the 2nd inning.
Catcher Ryan Boland on deck. He wants to get another shot here at Fulkert.
And Fulkert goes outside. Good waste pitch. 1-2. So just in the bottom half of the second. Undefeated game. And Fulkert with the hard drop. Missing. And the count now 2-2.
Now I'm seeing some scuffling in the Hill United dugout. Ryan French and Pablo Migliavaca are the two other pitchers on the roster, but you got to think they're going to ride with Adam as far as they have to.
Well, they might ride with Adam as long as the Gators ride with Sean. Up all chopped to third. Touch of the bases, Shales. He fakes the throw. So a good job of getting the lead runner in Ty Sebastian. And that will bring up Ryan Bolin.
Now Bolin singled and scored his last time around. Ryan Bolin is not intimidated by any pitcher in the world, Adam Fulkert or otherwise. And you talk about guys who are gamers. You saw how much of a gamer Ryan Bolin was on that slide where he was DOA, but found a way to turn it into a run in the first inning.
Ryan has singled and scored a run. Second look here at Fulkert. 2 away here, 2 runners still aboard. And Fulkert comes with the drop ball low. 1 ball.
Ryan Bolin's another one of these guys, Lance, who knows his strike zone. He's very selective.
And that pitch, tap to Todd Hunter, and he'll go to first. High throw. Mullally does a good job at keeping the foot on the bag, and they get the out. 6-3 on the put out, but not before the Gators chip away. They now trail 4-2. We've played 2 complete. Headed to the third after this.
The annual Boys of Summer Tournament is held every July at Circle Tap Bar and Grill in Denmark, Wisconsin. We host some of the top teams in the game at one of the best venues in softball. The atmosphere of old-time Fastpitch with all of the amenities of a full-service bar and grill on the grounds can't be beat. Reduced rate hotels about 10 minutes from the park are available in Green Bay. To bring your team to the annual Boys of Summer Tournament next July, contact Dean Kane at ct16@greenbaynet.com. Thanks to Circle Tap for their support of the broadcast program.
For all your team uniform and equipment needs, fastball, slow pitch, and hockey, for players and teams, make sure you visit Corbett's Source for Sports on the South Service Road in Oakville, Ontario. There's a lot of deals to be had on all kinds of equipment. Thank you to Paul Hurd and Corbett's Source for Sports for their generous sponsorship of the broadcast program.
Welcome back here as we get set to start the top of the third inning. It'll be the 3-4-5 hitters for the Hill United Chiefs and Nick Shales, Steve Mullally, then Jason Hill. And Sean Cleary took a little bit longer to get out there. And he's certainly taking his time with his warm-up pitches and ready to go here. And Nick Shales responsible for the first home run of the ball game, a 2-run shot in the first with Brad Ezekiel on board. And that lead didn't last all that long, but again, 2 runs put up by the Chiefs, 1 by the Gators in the bottom. Chiefs put up 2 again in the second. Gators responded with 1 in the home half, and we're at a 4-2 score right now in favor of the Chiefs.
Yeah, even on the last 2 nights, the Chiefs are putting up almost 2 runs an inning. So they've been a hard freight train to slow down, and the only saving grace for Sean Cleary is that his hitters are going to work as well, keeping it tight. It's 4-2 here in the third.
So Cleary missing up to Shales. And Shales a mainstay in that number 3 spot, as is Mullally, the cleanup hitter for these Chiefs. And that pitch had a notion and took it low for ball 2.
Nick Shales, certainly one of the top players in the world. He's the reigning ISC MVP, and he's even on the cover of the 2016 ISC guidebook, which can be purchased here at the park for $15 if you're around.
That pitch missing down, so Cleary being very, very careful with Shales. And the way Nicky's been swinging the bat, a walk isn't such a bad consolation. We saw what happened when you choose otherwise. And again, a 4-pitch walk to Shales to lead off the top of the third.
Yeah, Cleary and Boland certainly pitching around Nick Shales, but your reward is Steve Mullally coming into the batter's box. And Steve Mullally, we talked about it on the broadcast this week, had maybe one of the single best individual games, clutch games for Team Canada last year in Saskatoon.
Well, 3 home runs in a gold medal game. I don't know of a more impressive performance. If there is, please let me know. Maybe a perfect game thrown would be equal to that, but he was just a monster at the plate, and that Team Canada team was phenomenal. As Mullally high chopper, but that's foul down the third baseline. Looked like Shales was on the move, so the hit and run was on, and Mullally just not able to keep it between the lines.
Yeah, Nick Shales, 5-tool player. He can hit, run, catch, throw. And he is
that 5?
Hit, run, catch, throw, hit for power.
Oh, I like the way you threw that in. Came through in the clutch. Well done. So Cleary back to work here. And a big rip from Mullally, and you know what he was looking to do.
Yeah, Steven hasn't had any of his trademark lost softballs into the night here in Moline, but it hasn't been playoff time yet, so hang tight because you'll probably see one before tonight or tomorrow is out.
I think you're right, and that's when he seems to thrive, is when the game's on the line or in clutch time. And that one grounded to second over. Not in time, no throw. Good job from Shales, as he did a good job to take out Boland, Shane.
Yeah, he got Shane's leg as he was coming across. I think he might have clipped
him with the cleat. And that doesn't feel good, but unfortunately, that's part of the game. I didn't think that Shales went off the line or anything Batista-like, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's really been a hot topic in the major leagues this year. But Shales went right into the bag. Shane was trying to turn it, and he was almost out of the way. Shales caught him on the right shin. I don't know. I wouldn't think cleats were up because there would have been a lot more hooting and hollering out there. But Nick's not that kind of player anyway. He got up to make sure Shane was all right. Now, Shane, on the other hand, certainly is not going to appreciate being upended here, but also a competitor.
Yeah, and I think he understands. He knows that he would probably do a similar kind of slide if he had to. In the magnitude of this game, your job is to disrupt the fielder enough to stop him from making an accurate throw to double up the runner. And that's exactly what Shales accomplished. So Mullally's on first, and there's one away now for Jason Hill.
Hill stepping in. He flew out to center to end the first inning. Jason, another one of these clutch hitters, and I know we talked about it ad nauseum, but there's no let up in this Hill United Chiefs lineup. If you make a mistake, they will make you pay.
Well, we're just stating the facts, quite frankly, Chris, and that's what this team is about. This team goes about their business in a very methodical manner, and they've done so for a number of years now. And they have set the bar. They have been the measuring stick. Every other team watches every move they make and tries to duplicate it or counter it.
Well, Lance, it's as simple as this. They have not lost a World Tournament game since 2012. Who else has got a streak of anything for that long?
Wow, as Hill bounces that one foul.
They lost the championship game in 2012 to the Jarvis Travelers. They were also undefeated up until that point. So since their inception in 2012, the Hill United Chiefs have lost one game at the ISC World Tournament.
And I believe that was the year that the Travelers came through the back door and had to play at least 2 games on the championship day, and they were well warm and ready to go, and it just took the Chiefs too long to heat up, and that game was close as well.
Well, when you look at the Chiefs' victories over the last couple of years in the championship game, they've been tight and dramatic, and I would expect nothing less for whatever team wins this year. So there's certainly no coronation whichever team wins this game tonight, because the other part of what you said, Lance, the team that gets that extra game in the morning and it comes in loose, and I won't say more oftentimes than not, but probably equally as often has won the ISC World Tournament.
I agree, as that pitch is lifted up and a chase for it, but no one's going to get that.
And that's where Jason Hill is going to put the ball on you more often than not. I won't even say in the right third of the field. It's more like the right sixth of the field, generally somewhere within 10 to 15 feet down the first base line, as he turns on anything inside or outside for that matter.
Well, definitely a pull hitter, and Jason's going the way Jason can. He is yanking everything to the right side. And he's fouled off a couple balls there. 2-2 the count, 1 away, 4-2 the score in favor of the Hill United Chiefs. And a swing, just got a little piece of that, did Hill. So the count will remain 2-2. Top of the third inning.
Mullally the runner out first, reaching via the fielder's choice.
So if Hill goes on to win this game and win the finals, they will become only the second team to ever win 4 ISC World Tournaments in a row. The last team to do that was the Long Beach Nighthawks in 1957 to 60, so you got to go way back. The Travelers, the only other three-peat team. They did it, of course, 2010 through 2012, and that's what we just talked about, where it was sort of the passing of the torch when the Chiefs lost to the Travelers in 2012, but then beat them a year later.
Yeah, and when you look at this Toronto Gators team, a lot of them, I don't know if I can say the majority, but a lot of them were part of that Travelers squad and are now with the Toronto Gators.
There's certainly a few of them that will remember that and have been around that long. So good at bat here, full count to Jason Hill, and that ball again fouled off. So Hill and Cleary in the midst of a good battle. You have Steve Mullally on first base. He reached on a fielder's choice.
Of course, Jason Hill has a lot of hits off Sean Cleary. They're the same age. They grew up together in Newfoundland playing against each other. And then last year in the 2015 championship game of the ISC, Jason hit the game-winning home run to right field.
The game-winning line drive out of here in a hurry home run. And we still say that ball traveled only as high as the fence the whole way out. And Hill under that, just as Shane Boland's going to call for that and put it in his pocket for the second out. So a high pop-up after a lengthy battle. Cleary wins it and sits down Hill, and that will bring up Mark Johnson.
Johnson went down on strikes his first time around to lead off the second inning. Comes up here with a runner on, and Mullally, who was going on the pitch on the 3-2 count, but is back at first base after the Jason Hill pop-up.
Well, Cleary trying to provide the first inning without a run here, trying to get in the dugout unscathed as he misses outside to Johnson, and he's going to check the landing pad. Been some issues with that pad throughout the week, but the grounds crew's done an outstanding job in keeping it playable.
Well, Sean Cleary is a pitcher who is very particular about his pitching mound.
And that pitch is fouled back.
But when you're as good as he is, you can be particular, because when you're feeling good, you are one of the best in the game. No one's ever accused Sean of quick pitching, though, Lance.
I don't think he'll ever get accused of doing that. You're right. But he'll sure add some minutes to the game total, that's for sure. And he bounces that one in. Good scoop back there from Ryan Boland.
Defensively and offensively, Ryan Boland is one of the best in the world. He's been with Team Canada now for a few years, and wherever Ryan Boland goes, he is a captain, no different than here with the Toronto Gators squad. And it's because he's such a fiery competitor that you've got to get on board with his attitude.
So 4-2, count, 2 balls and a strike to Mark Johnson. And Johnson went down and got that pitch, fouled it straight back. And Boland gunned that ball back to Cleary.
That's usually a sign from Ryan that he was not happy with Sean's previous pitch. He keeps his pitchers accountable.
Well, I think you might be right, and not sure if Ryan sent Shane a message to give to Cleary so he didn't have to get up out of the crouch, because Shane came over and said a few quick words and hustled back to short. 2-2 the count. 2 away, 4-2 ball game. And that ball, chopper played nicely by the third baseman, Ty Sebastian, an easy toss. So not a 1-2-3 inning, but a scoreless inning for the first time in this ball game. And we have played 2.5. We're going to mosey on down to the bottom of the third, 4-2 in favor of the Chiefs.
Think about the greatest tournaments and championships played in fastball. Remember the players who have been at the highest pinnacle of our game, like Adam Folkard and Andrew Kirkpatrick. Gorilla Gold was there helping them win. What has been a closely guarded secret by the most prominent players is now available for you. We're ready to give you a hand to play at your best in all conditions. Visit us online at GorillaGold.com to order your Gorilla Gold products today.
If a man runs for president, interviews for a high-level job, or needs a good table at a smart restaurant, chances are he'll be wearing a suit. Mr. Ned is your custom tailor in New York City. Located at 137 Fifth Avenue, we provide our clients with the highest quality custom suits at affordable pricing. Our range of fabrics is second to none and will fit the needs of any well-dressed professional. Whether it be everyday business attire or a special occasion, we have the ability to make you a man of distinction. Visit the store at 137 Fifth Avenue in New York or see us online at MrNedNYC.com. We thank Mr. Ned and Var Matosian for generously supporting the broadcast program.
Back here for the bottom of the third inning, it'll be Wayne Laulu to lead things off, followed by Brad Rona and Shane Boland. He's scheduled 3 hitters for the Gators, trailing 4-2 to Adam Folkard and the Hill United Chiefs. Big cut there from Laulu. Comes up empty with a high drop.
I know the Gators have a big staff, but I don't know if they employ a chiropractor or a massage therapist, but Laulu must get his back worked on every game.
Well, based on that swing, he probably cracks it a few times each at bat. Because just a crazy twist, but he connects more times than not, and he is probably one of the most legitimate power threats here at this World Tournament.
Well, there's absolutely no doubt about that. Every pitcher knows it as well, and he's not going to get anything in his wheelhouse, and it's even more impressive that he can adjust and still hit for power.
1-1 count here to Wayne Laulu. And a swing and a miss. And for years I was calling him Wayne Lalu and enjoyed it because that kind of flows pretty nice. So I asked him about that, and he said if he'd really appreciate it if we would go with Laulu.
Okay.
And I, of course, said sure.
You're not going to tell him no.
Well, a swing and a miss there. He just got a piece of it. He might be the only guy with a bigger bucket than yourself and your uncle, okay? Although Blair Sefford has to be in the conversation too, okay? So, but boy, oh boy. So don't put yourself, don't sell yourself short.
I might be able to sell my helmet, is what you're telling me.
That's what I'm telling you, okay? You may have a couple of buyers. So, Laulu takes that pitch outside, and the count now 2-2.
I get that one on eBay. Make sure Wayne gets the link.
Make sure Wayne gets the link, is right. And he's a good guy, that's for sure. One of the good guys in the game. And that pitch just fouled. So a big battle here, and you can see Folkart working the outer half of the plate. Laulu, one of those guys that tends to pull the ball. So he usually keeps it to center to left, so in that range. And you see Folkart trying to pitch him away and forcing him to take away some of that power. And that's a hard hit chopper. Shales fielded at third over to first in time for the first out of the bottom of the third inning.
That Hill United infield defensively, not only are these guys all able to hit the ball, they are smooth as silk on the infield. You've got the Australians around the horn, and then the native of Freshwater, Placentia Bay, Newfoundland, Labrador, Canada, Stephen Mullally, who now makes his home in Oakville, Ontario.
Yes, he does, as Brad Rona now steps in. Rona with a single and an RBI in his first at-bat. And Folkart starts him off with a ball low and outside. So you can see that trend. Folkart feeling, of course, that the Gators were jumping on first pitch. You saw the adjustment that Cleary's made, and he's not giving that first pitch gem that he was before. So it's a bit of a cat and mouse game going on here.
Yeah, I think Sean would have been real happy in the third inning that he kept some guys off the base, and now Folkart is...
As that ball is launched deep, if it stays fair, and it does, get out of this ballpark. A monster home run, second in as many nights as Big Bad Brad Rona lights up Adam Folkart, a solo shot, and the score now is 4-3.
Well, Lance, you talk about money, guys. There's nobody more money than Brad Rona in this sport, whether he's playing for the New Zealand team or if he's playing for his club team here in the ISC. Brad Rona is always feared, and he is at his best in big games. There's lots of Canadian pitchers that can tell you that.
Well, you know what? We were talking that we hadn't seen that real power that Brad Rona has shown us in the past for a while. And as we say that, he hits a bomb last night and follows that up with a bomb tonight, and that was a no-doubter. He was into his trot almost as soon as that ball left the bat. So Shane Boland now, as he's got to follow that up.
I don't know if he can follow that up, but he's going to want to keep the train moving here for the Toronto Gators.
So caught looking in the first to end the inning. And with one out, the lead is trimmed to 1, 4-3 for the Chiefs. And a swing and a miss. Good drop ball from Folkart.
Well, you know, Lance, as much as the purists of this sport, and I'm one of them, love a good pitcher's duel, 1-0, I also don't mind seeing some offense. 4-3 in the third between these two teams. Nobody would have expected this.
No, and a swing and a miss. So down goes Shane Boland. Strikeout victim number 3, and that's a very low K total for Folkart, but to be expected with this Gators lineup.
Well, the other thing that we need to take into account here for both Adam Folkart and Sean Cleary, they have pitched every day this week with the exception of one day off. It's been very hot out there, and I'm not making excuses for either, but they've carried the entire load for their respective teams.
You're absolutely right, Chris. No argument there. And Thomas Sanoka now steps in. He singled and scored a run in the second.
Had a question come in off the chat asking from Justin Gill, who's played in this tournament multiple times himself, asked if the Rona shot was over the second fence. Pretty sure it would have been over the third, fourth, and fifth fence as well.
You can let him know that somewhere in the woods, a woodchuck could chuck woodchuck wood. He's probably playing with that ball now because it's lost. Big swing and a miss from Thomas Inoka. That might be one of those ones that just never come back.
Yeah, that one's worth more than a quarter if somebody can find it and bring it back to the canteen. You'd have to ask for a mileage receipt.
That one gobbled up by Shales and over to first for the out. So Volker gets out of it, but not before surrendering a solo shot to Brad Rona. 4-3 the score. We are headed to the fourth after this.
Peligro Sports provides the essentials needed to give your team an edge on the field. Our brand is rooted in creating a unique experience tailored to the specific needs of your team to ensure your performance is at the best level to execute plays. At Peligro Sports, we rally behind our athletes and understand their fight to take their game to a dangerous level. Visit our store at 2200 Amsterdam Avenue in New York City or see us online at peligrosportsnyc.com. Thanks to Jose and Peligro Sports for their support of the broadcast program.
Why do you play? For 100 years since 1912, Worth has been helping top athletes answer that question. Whether it's for strikeouts or home runs, the Worth K-Master 120 is the best ball in men's fast-pitch softball, and there's nothing soft about it or you. Worth is proud to be the official ball supplier to the ISC. Visit worthsports.com for more information on Worth products, including the K-Master.
At Miltan Field in the Green Valley Sports Complex. Lance Winn alongside Kris Abbott. Glad to have you with us here as we ride this roller coaster that's called the Undefeated Game. Number 67 on the schedule. 70 games scheduled in the men's open bracket. So 3 more to go here after this one. But this, of course, a big one. 4-3 in favor of the 3-time defending champion Hill United Chiefs. Sean Cleary in the circle for the Gators, and it's James Todhunter to lead things off here in the top of the fourth.
Well, you know, Lance, I'd be remiss if I didn't do this, and us Newfoundlanders, that's how we operate, but there's 3 Newfoundland and Labrador players in the lineup, the starting lineup tonight for each of these teams, and there's a lot of people watching back in Newfoundland and Labrador where the clock is just about to strike midnight on a Friday night. So hello to everyone watching back home. I even got a message from an old teammate, Doug Marshall. He's watching out in Twillingate, which I didn't even know they had the internet out there, but welcome aboard, guys.
Nice, nice. It's always good to get that hometown support. Grounder and gobbled up by Bolin. Easy play over the first for the first out. Well, I think a very good following, and understandably so. Apparently that small island's a bit of a hotbed for fastball talent and has been for a number of years, and that says a lot about the sport and a lot about the culture, really, and the fact that you can't beat a good kitchen party. I don't care what anybody says, and I, of course, been very fond of making an annual trip out east, and you can't beat the people, and you can't beat the scenery, and you can't beat everything else going out there. So a big swing and a miss from Joel Southern. And it was Southern that launched a 2-run blast in the second that gave these Chiefs a 4-1 lead. Gators, of course, have put 2 more up and since climbed to within a run.
Joel Southern from another pretty impressive fast pitch producing island of Australia.
That pitch, ground ball easily. Brad Rona will do that himself, unassisted on the putout, and that will bring up Jason Sanford.
Yeah, Sanford chopped the ball in front of the plate last time. Ryan Bolin popped up and threw him out at first. He'll look to avoid the 1-2-3 inning here for the Hill United Chiefs.
Well, you got to figure this is just what Cleary wanted in the Gators. If they can get out of this unscathed and get right back up to swinging the bat. And a big cut there, foul back by Sanford.
Right off the bottom of our camera, which is hanging tough in there tonight at the backstop. It took a couple of direct hits earlier today, and frankly, Lance, Blair Setford's been the guy who's been dealing with the camera adjustments, so here's hoping that it doesn't get hit this game and one of us got to go take care of it.
Well, it's for sure. I mean, Blair has his talents, and fixing that camera is definitely one of them. And I will attest to that. Blair, no one fixes the camera like you, man. You are definitely the best camera fixer we've got.
Taking shots at the guy when he can't hear us. It's the best.
It's nothing that he can't hear replaying the tape or that we won't say to his face. So I think he can take it whether he likes it or not.
Blair Setford, of course, the godfather of the ISC network now, and he's also a bench coach with the Toronto Gators, and I'm sure on pins and needles down there along with the rest of the coaching staff.
We're not going to get into the conflict of interest, which him and I have already discussed on numerous occasions. So 0-2 count and swing and a miss. So a good 1-2-3 inning for Sean Cleary as he mows down the Chiefs, gives them nothing, and we're headed now to the bottom of the fourth. 4-3. Favor of Hill United. Back here in a moment.
Free means different things to different people. Free is the laughter we share together. Free are the tears of joy on that special day. Free is the ability to express yourself. Free is the air dancing around your fingers. Free feels good, and so does saving. At First Ontario Credit Union, our members always get free checking, free ATM use, free debit, free deposits, free e-statements, and new members get a free gift. Visit freeisgood.ca and get money doing better for you at First Ontario Credit Union.
So, with that said, of course, it'll be Thomas Macchia that steps in here to face Adam Folkart, and not sure why Mike Morrissey made the trip down. Maybe just wanted to show us that he's still a little fit and got a little pep in his step. So that got taken care of, and immediately back to work, Folkart. And that pitch in there for a called strike.
Yeah, the game's kind of settled in after a wild and woolly 2 innings. We're here in the bottom of the fourth, but Lance, you said during one of the commercial breaks to me that you don't think this has been the end of it, nor do I.
No, I think that right now these hitters are very comfortable facing the two best pitchers in the world, and there's some familiarity that has to do with that. So no real intimidation factor with either team. They're just going out there and slugging it out. Tough pitch to take, an 0-2 from Folkart, misses to Thomas Macchia. Struck out in the second.
Thomas Macchia was inducted into the ISC Hall of Fame here a week ago and honored by the other New Zealand players in attendance with a haka in the back of the conference room.
That's pretty impressive. And that pitch up the middle, base hit. So Thomas Macchia with his first hit of the ball game, a leadoff single here in the bottom of the fourth inning.
He's not done yet. He might be in the Hall of Fame, but he's still got the cleats on his feet.
Still padding those stats for sure. And in will step the number 9 hitter in Ty Sebastian, but not before a timeout meeting in the circle for the Chiefs. And it looks like it'll be Dustin Houts that will come in to pinch run for Thomas Macchia.
Well, when you're a Hall of Famer, sometimes you don't have to run the base paths either. So they'll get the youthful legs of Dustin Houts in there.
You're right. He did his job, got the hit, and now he can take it easy in the dugout there, although there's no real sitting down going on in that Gators dugout.
No,
everyone's pretty much glued to the fence.
The only people sitting down in the park are the ones that are mandatory to sit down because they're blocking our view if they stand up. Everyone else is right into this game.
So Sebastian now takes a pitch inside for a ball.
Nick Shales is about 30 feet in on the baseline, expecting a bunt from Ty Sebastian.
Sebastian had a walk in the second and was gunned out on a fielder's choice. A big swing and a miss. So Sebastian may be sending a message, you want to creep in and cheat. Well, if that's the case, I'm going to take a good rip at it. And nothing makes a third baseman back up just a little bit than a guy taking a hefty cut in a bunting situation.
Well, I can speak to that from experience.
So that pitch in there for a strike. So Sebastian squared Folkart with a pitch that was too good to handle. And now in the hole 1 and 2 is Ty Sebastian.
But in that situation, I think Nick Shales is banking on the fact that not a lot of guys are going to get around that quickly on Adam Folkart.
I think you're right about that, and rarely does anyone, although the only guys that could do it are probably in this Gator lineup. Going the other way and bobbled by Southern, but he manages to get the out. So a double play ball that didn't really cooperate on the last hop. So 4-3 on the putout. But Macchia is going to advance to second base on the play. Not Macchia, but Houts, sorry.
That's right. Joel Southern would have had to make a perfect pick and throw, and he knew that as the ball was coming toward him. When he wasn't able to make it, he just took the out at first base because Ty Sebastian runs so well it would have had to be impeccably executed by the Hill United Chiefs.
Top of the shop now in Beninoka. He has flied out and singled and cashed in a run. So 1 for 2 with an RBI is Beninoka. Runner on second base, Dustin Houts. And Adam Folkart bends that one in, doesn't catch any part of the inside, any part of the inner half of the plate. And the count 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, Beninoka, the center fielder here for the Toronto Gators, drove in the second run of the night for his squad.
And that pitch is missing down. So 2-0 to Beninoka. And again, Folkart being very careful with Anoka. And that pitch missing again. So 3-0 the count. And at this point, not sure if you might just want to put him on.
Well, you know, you're getting back into the same issue we ran into last time Anoka came up. You're getting into the meat of the order. Brandon Horn would be on deck again with 2 runners on.
Well, Folkart pours in a strike there to bring the count back to 3-1. So clearly he is not about to give a free pass to Beninoka.
Anoka, of course, a member of the New Zealand national team.
And that pitch is shot through the hole on the right side. Base hit, rounding third. And coming in to score is Dustin Houts. We've got ourselves a 4-4 ball game.
Unbelievable here in the ISC winners bracket final. Scraping back from being down 3, the Toronto Gators. And halfway through the game, we've got a brand new game and a second RBI single in as many tries for Beninoka.
So you don't want to walk him, huh? Well, it's a tie ball game, and I just felt that Anoka looked much more comfortable at the plate facing Folkart than Brandon Horn did. Now, mind you, there's still only one away, so you would have seen potentially Ryan Boland, or if it got to that, Wayne Laulu, but it was Beninoka that came through, second RBI of the ball game for Ben. And we got ourselves a 4-4 tie.
Well, this is everything and more the people who are here at the park and the people who are watching online could have asked for in this game tonight.
And Brandon Horn now, a squibbler, fielded by Mullally, and Horn is off the baseline, so he's called out.
You see Mullally completed that play there with a little shovel to Joe Southam just to make sure that Horn would have been called out. Now, it was a dangerous play because it was kind of obvious he would have been out the way he broke the line. If that ball gets away, then the speedy Beninoka could have taken third base, but it all worked out.
So Horn is out, Anoka's on second, and Ryan Boland will step in. Boland 1 for 2. He's got a single and has scored a run. actually scored the Gators' first run of the ball game.
On a slide that was so impressive, I'm going to clip that off and put it on the internet tomorrow.
Big swing and a miss there from Ryan. No balls, 1 strike.
And I don't even know if you can call it a slide, Lance. It was more of a hop, skip, and a jump here as we're in an Olympic season. The triple jump for the score.
And had a notion there, but that's on the outside corner for a strike. So in the hole, 0-2 is Ryan Boland.
It wouldn't be a shocker to have seen Boland drive that one to the opposite field. He has great power the other way.
And that pitch coming down. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. And got to keep an eye on Beninoka at second base.
Now you can't sleep on either of the Anokas on the base path, that's for sure.
And that pitch grounded right back to Fulkert, flipped to first. So that will do it. The 1-3 putout, but not before the Gators take another bite out of the lead. This game's all tied up 4-4. We're about to do our slide to 5 when we come back in a moment.
First Nations Payment Systems strives to deliver innovative and secure solutions that benefit merchants everywhere. We can help you decrease your costs and increase your revenues. With more than 1 million merchant locations using the First Nations Payment Systems platform worldwide, you can't go wrong by making the switch. When you partner with First Nations Payments, your clients will benefit from our world-class payment experts, support staff, and cutting-edge technologies. To learn more about how First Nations Payments can help your organization, contact us through our website at firstnationspayments.ca. We thank First Nations Payments for their generous sponsorship of the broadcast program.
So welcome back here to Miltan Field at the Green Valley Sports Complex. Lance Winn, Kris Abbott. Glad to have you with us here in the ISC Network. And surprising, it looks like Sean Cleary's night is done, at least for a while, and Justin Schofield has come in to toe the rubber for the Toronto Gators. And Kris, this is a bit of a surprise move considering the way Cleary has been moving along in the last couple innings.
Sean Cleary had retired 6 of the last 7 batters he had faced. And nothing against Justin Schofield, but he's not Sean Cleary in this tied game 4-4. So we can only assume that Sean had nothing left to give here against the Hill United Chiefs. But Justin Schofield, he pitched his East Hants Mastodons to a Canadian silver medal last year and actually has done it a couple of times that he has dominated the Canadian Nationals. Schofield might be the best number 2 pitcher in this tournament, so he's no walkover for the Hill United Chiefs.
So it'll be top of the shop in Brad Ezekiel, followed by Nico Carrill and Nick Shales, the 1-2-3 hitters for the Hill United Chiefs. Tie ball game, 4-4, top of the 5th inning. Justin Schofield in the circle now in relief of Sean Cleary. And first pitch is in there for a called strike.
Well, Justin Schofield is on the radar for Team Canada. John Stewart is in the house. John Hill is an assistant coach with Team Canada with Hill United. And Les Howie is watching the game online. So an audition here for Justin Schofield.
And that pitch is going down and getting it, lifting it, but it drifts out of play. So Ezekiel working on a 2-for-2 ball game. He singled in the first and scored a run and doubled in the second.
Schofield lives just down the road from me, actually, Lance, in White Rock, Nova Scotia. He's a driving force behind the local league in the Halifax area.
It's almost like you guys just took your league and plopped it over here in Quad Cities, because you certainly talk about representation. Well, and you guys are certainly doing just that.
Tyler Wynot was here from Halifax. Aaron Harvey as well. They were both playing with the J&B painting team.
Should have had our own kitchen party, never mind.
Well, the week's not over yet.
Yeah, you're right. You are right.
There is a lot of representation from the east coast of Canada here, no doubt. So much so that the ISC East created an ISC Atlantic to keep things balanced.
That rise ball from Schofield just got a piece of that, did Ezekiel. And lucky as he didn't miss that pitch by much. 4-4 ball game, top of the 5th inning. And this has shaped up to be exactly what we expected. A battle of two heavyweight teams, the number 1 and number 2 ranked team in the world, doing battle here. And it may just come down to who has the last at bat as Ezekiel lifts that one up and it's drifting just out of play. So another long run out there for Thomas Macchia.
I didn't see, actually. I think they've left Dustin Houts out as a defensive replacement for Macchia.
I think you're right. So Macchia is out. That is Dustin Houts out there in right field. So we will make the appropriate change. And
well, I couldn't tell, but I looked out and I saw a left-handed fielder and thought unless Thomas Macchia was really showing off.
Well, no showing off from Macchia. As that ball's lifted up deep into the night sky, going back, and got a beat on it. And did he make the grab over the fence? Looks like a home run for Bradley Ezekiel. And boy, did he put a charge in that one. And he has been a real thorn in the Gators' side. And just like that, it's 5-4, another leadoff home run for Brad Ezekiel.
The third leadoff home run in an inning for Brad Ezekiel, and he welcomes Justin Schofield to the game in the worst possible way for the Toronto Gators. Brad Ezekiel, one of the best hitters in the game. Thomas Anoka went all the way back to the fence, crashing through and almost came up with the ball, but it hit on the grass behind him and beyond the fence. Brad Ezekiel with yet another clutch hit.
Good job of seeing that. My view just a little obstructed there. Certainly had the height, but when you saw Anoka going back for it, you figured maybe he had a chance. Nico Carrill now set to follow that up, facing Justin Schofield, and certainly not the greeting you wanted if you're Schofield. Working the count there and made a mistake to Bradley Ezekiel and paid the price as he took something off that pitch, and that's in there for a strike.
It certainly is a war of attrition for these pitchers. You can see down the right field line now for the Hill United Chiefs that looks to be Pablo Migliavaca warming up, number 77. He is their number 2 guy. Ryan French being number 3.
Schofield gassing it up but missing outside, so the count 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, the thing with Justin Schofield you're going to get is hard dippers outside. He throws the ball just as hard or harder than anyone, and he will surprise you with a rise ball up around your eyes when you're looking outside.
And there's that rise ball, like you said, up around the eyes. And the count now even at 2-2.
Just saw a comment come in there, Lance, on the quality of the lighting here at Green Valley. They replaced them this year because the tournament keeps coming back. They wanted to make sure they had the best possible facility.
That ball, 2 hopper to short. Good play from Shane Boland to retire Nico Carrill.
Carrill 0 for 3 on the night, but the guys around him have been getting it done in the order. Nick Shales stepping in. He had a 2-run home run back in the first.
Also walked in the third, so Shales again having himself another solid ball game, playing a very good third base as well. 5-4 in favor of the Hill United Chiefs, courtesy a leadoff home run from Brad Ezekiel. And Shales with his first look at Schofield as he leaves that one down low for ball 1.
So back and forth, these teams continue to go. 5-4 now for Hill United.
And that pitch, a high chopper. Boland again at short. Good toss over to first in time. So another 6-3 put out. And that will bring up Steve Mullally, also working on an 0 for 2 ball game.
The arm of Shane Boland is really something to behold at shortstop. He can make the throw coming across the field like he just did, or from deep in the hole. Boland's in good shape. He's a police officer by day.
Well, you know what? A bit unorthodox at the shortstop position when we first got a look at him. But he's the guy who makes the plays all the time. And that's all you can ask for. And he does a really good job playing the position. As Mullally goes down the line, this time it's a low throw dug out by Brad Rona. So a good job to pick up Ty Sebastian and that throw. Big bad Brad Rona doing it on both sides of the diamond. 5-4, the score in favor of the Chiefs. We'll continue our slide to 5 after this.
Murphy's Fish and Chips is not only a great place to get some of the best seafood in Canada, but is also one of the best fastball sponsors in the game. Voted Nova Scotia's best fish and chips by Eastlink TV, Murphy's is a family institution since 1996 and a proud fastball sponsor of many Canadian and ISC championship teams. Open 7 days a week. Come join us for our famous English-style fish and chips or any of our daily specials. Murphy's is located at 88 Esplanade in Truro, Nova Scotia. We thank Dave T. Anderson and Murphy's Fish and Chips for their commitment to fastball and the broadcast program.
Welcome back here. It'll be the 4-5-6 hitters for the Toronto Gators, trailing 5-4 here, bottom of the 5th inning. Wayne Laulu to lead things off, 0 for 2. And Adam Folkert starts him off with a good low drop ball that he swings over for strike 1.
Laulu is 0 for 2 in the game, reaching on fielder's choice and then grounding out to Nick Shales. Speaking of grounding out, what a great play by Brad Rona to end the top half of this inning.
Did it with his glove just as well. So Brad Rona has stepped up his game here at the World Tournament as Folkert comes in with a strike. Laulu not in agreement with that pitch. But it's not the first time a batter has disagreed with an umpire's call.
No, and I've yet to see one change their mind.
Still hasn't happened. And that pitch reached out, bounced to Southern at second. A good play just to get Laulu. So Southern there, a good running play, charged that ball and made a good throw in time to get Laulu.
I tell you what, Wayne Laulu made that every bit as difficult as he could. The big man got down the line in a hurry. And Joel Salem was lucky to get the benefit of the doubt from first base umpire Mike Morrissey.
So Brad Rona now steps in, 2 for 2 today. He singled and cashed in a run and homered. So he has been a problem for Adam Folkert here as he looks at a first pitch strike on the outside corner. They haven't been able to get Brad out.
No, you said he's been a problem for Adam Folkert. Brad Rona's been a problem for a lot of pitchers in his day.
Well, he certainly has, as that pitch missing up in the zone, 1-1 the count. And he's been doing it for a number of years. And there was a bit of a drop-off over the course of the last couple, but he sure has picked it up here in 2016. And that pitch missing down. So 2 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, I know some of the fans at the Hill United Chiefs tournament, the ISC East qualifier, earlier this year were wondering what was wrong with Brad Rona. He wasn't really hitting those tape measure home runs. Well, he's doing it here to the last 24 hours.
And here is where it really counts, not to take anything away from that, but a swing and a miss there. So the count even at 2-2. This is really what these guys have prepared for all season.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and Todd Martin actually talked about it in his Hall of Fame induction speech. The tournaments during the year are more about coming together as a team and getting better.
And just got a piece of that to stay alive, did Rona. Well, chemistry is so important in this sport. And you got to figure that the longer guys play with each other and the more comfortable they are and the more confident they become. And that translates onto the diamond, in particular when you get into these high pressure situations like the undefeated game tonight. That pitch, and the ball gone, the bat gone, And Brad Rona gone. So 2 away here as that pitch fooled the big first baseman, and that will bring up Shane Boland.
That bat went out of the park about 150 feet down the third baseline. So how hard do you think Brad Rona swings the bat?
Well, hard enough to clear the 10-foot fence that surrounds the lines here.
And not only did it clear the fence, it went about 20 feet beyond the fence. Luckily, nobody was hit by that flying bat.
That is lucky. So Shane Boland now 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. And a swing and a miss. And certainly nothing to be ashamed of. Adam Fulkert has mowed down many a player. Not the strikeout total he's used to, but we don't expect that against a good hitting team like these Toronto Gators, as you see Boland swing and miss. So he's in the hole now, 0-2. They're 2 away. Big stop here for the Chiefs if they can get out of this inning unscathed. And down goes Shane Boland for the 3rd time, and back-to-back strikeouts for the first time in the ball game for Adam Fulkert. No runs, no hits, and nobody left aboard. We've played 5 complete. We're headed to the 6th, 5-4 for the Chiefs. Back in a moment.
The law firm of Fireman Steinmetz Daya built its reputation on getting fair compensation for victims of serious personal injury or catastrophic claims. With a combined 90 years of experience and a fierce dedication to achieving results, fireman lawyers have recovered millions of dollars every year for our clients. Whether you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident, a slip and fall, or as a result of any other act of negligence, when we represent you, we're committed to getting the results you deserve. With the lawyers at Fireman Steinmetz Daya, you are not alone. Contact us through firemanlawyers.com for a free consultation. No legal fees are billed until you receive your settlement. We thank Jack Fireman for his generous sponsorship of the broadcast program.
Back here at the Green Valley Sports Complex. Top of the 6th inning, we go. 5-4 ball game in favor of the Hill United Chiefs. It'll be Jason Hill, followed by Mark Johnson and James Todhutter, to face Justin Schofield, who starts Hill off with a strike over the outside corner.
Jason 0 for 2 tonight, a fly out to center and a pop up to short. His first look at Justin Schofield.
And Scope comes in with another strike. So quickly out in front, 0-2 on Jason Hill.
I'm impressed by Schofield's composure. He's been on the bench for all but 1 inning against the Topeka Toros back on Monday, but he's composed out there tonight.
And just getting a piece of that was Jason Hill on a good pitch from Schofield.
And when I talk about his composure, he's not too ramped up. Even after he gave up a leadoff home run to Brad Ezekiel, he came back and retired the next 3 batters. So that says a lot about Justin Schofield.
Sure does. He's also got a good team behind him, and they've got his back, and that's exactly what happened. Schofield did a good job of inducing ground balls, and his defense a good job in finishing off the play.
So I don't know that we'll get a clear answer out of the Gators why Cleary was removed, but it did coincide with 2 times through the lineup, and maybe they just wanted to give Hill a different look.
That's very possible, as Schofield tried to bend that one around the outside corner. So 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. I'm not sure, and we can second guess all we want, Chris, and it could have been a number of reasons.
Oh, we're only surmising. We have no idea.
So we will have to follow up on that story and maybe bring you a little more information on Championship Saturday. Schofield missing out, way out, and that'll run the count even, 2-2.
Jason Hill works as an insurance. He works as a financial advisor during the day for Investors Group.
And that pitch, swing and a miss. Boland will finish the play. And there's 1 away as Hill's sent down, and that'll bring up Mark Johnson.
They bring up the left fielder, Mark Johnson.
So Johnson, who is leading the tournament in hitting coming into tonight, is 0 for 2. I know that the individual awards don't matter, but it would sure help his cause if he could poke one through the infield here.
So Johnson now, of course, swinging a hot bat, but still nursing a bit of a groin injury. And it looks like our home plate umpire will just take a step out and maybe had a bug in the eye.
Well, yeah, our fans can't see it on the stream, even though the stream is remarkably clear. I still can't get over how clear it is for the size of the camera, but a lot of bugs here at night.
A pitch from Schofield missing outside, 1 ball.
But it sure doesn't cool off in the evening too much. The sun might go down, but everyone's still rocking the tank tops and shorts.
Yeah, we look out here in the air-conditioned booth as that one's swing and a miss from Johnson. And we think, oh, well, it's hot, but not that hot. And then you step out there and you go, oh, you got to get out of this oven.
It hits you like a ton of bricks, and there's multiple like grills and barbecues going on. Those guys are the real MVPs.
Sure are. Them and the grounds crew, I think, certainly get their work out here. That pitch just fouled back. So a good hack from Johnson, but not able to straighten it out. Fouls it off the backstop. And the count 1-1. Sorry, 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. My fault, I apologize. And down goes Johnson.
So that's that rise ball I was telling you about, Lance. You saw there, it just shot up from Schofield, and Johnson couldn't hold back.
So back-to-back strikeouts for Justin Schofield, and that will bring up James Todhunter, the shortstop. He is 1 for 2, singled and scored a run in the second, and then grounded out in the fourth.
Yeah, Todhunter also hit a big home run last night to get the offense going for Hill United against the Scarborough Force, who went 1-2 barbecue. The Force were eliminated in their losers bracket game today.
Good hit from Todhunter as he shoots one through the left side of the infield for a base hit. So a 2-out single for James Todhunter will bring up Joel Southern. And he's been swinging a hot stick. Home run in the second and grounded out in the fourth.
Yeah, and we talked about his home run last night. So offense coming out of the bat of Joel Southern now as well. And Hill United, the rich get richer, the strong get stronger, whatever you want to call it.
So Southern now with his first look at Justin Schofield. And Schof bounces that one in. Runner not able to advance. And good hustle by the home plate umpire, who was ready to cover third in case there was a play. And I'm not sure if he really needed to be down there, but he hustled down there nonetheless.
He got down there. I don't know if that was an effort to get away from the human bull in the china shop that is Ryan Boland.
I don't know if Ryan did anything personal, but I tell you, you talk about getting down that line in a hurry.
I think that's what he's talking about with Joel Salem right now.
Kevin Wallace bounced out of that crouch, and he was headed down the third. So Boland probably had a little bit of a laugh about it, said something to him. 1 ball, no strikes, the count here.
Good to see the mood still light in such an intense situation.
Well, I think you got to keep it light. That's important, as that pitch is fouled off. Even a count now, 1 ball and 1 strike. So a good work out there for home plate umpire Kevin Wallace.
Wallace, a local guy from Shipman, Illinois. And he's been tasked with the plate on this game between the 2 best teams in the world, who both hail from Ontario. Yep. Toronto, of course, in Toronto. Hill United from 6 Nations.
Well, Kevin Wallace has been a mainstay at the World Tournament for a number of years as Schofield pours in a strike there to Southern, and he's up in the count 1-2.
And of course, these teams may be based in Ontario but have rosters spanning the globe. Although it's interesting, the split. You see a lot of the New Zealanders on the Gators roster, a lot of the Aussies on the Hill U roster. Not a lot of crossover there.
Well, no, and I think that's because a lot of times when you go out and sign guys, it's a lot easier to sign guys that you play with or other teammates or guys you're familiar with, in particular if you're building and trying to keep that strong nucleus. And you got to figure if there was half New Zealand, half Australia over in that diamond, I'm not sure that anyone else would be allowed to play. Unless, of course, they built a team with all guys from the East Coast, and then maybe they could compete. Unfortunately, then, it would be a two-horse race all the time. So maybe it's good that we split the guys up and let them play on their respective teams that way.
Oh, and it's better for everyone. It's better for guys that aren't at the international level in terms of playing for their national team. They get a chance to see these guys up close and learn, and it's all about making everybody better. And the ISC tournament, the whole week-long event, is a big part of that.
Good pitch from Justin Schofield, and looking was Southern. Caught watching the paint dry. Schofield strikes out the side here in the top of the sixth. 5-4. Gators to bat, trailing by 1. Back in a moment.
The annual Boys of Summer Tournament is held every July at Circle Tap Bar and Grill in Denmark, Wisconsin. We host some of the top teams in the game at one of the best venues in softball. The atmosphere of old-time Fastpitch with all of the amenities of a full-service bar and grill on the grounds can't be beat. Reduced-rate hotels about 10 minutes from the park are available in Green Bay. To bring your team to the annual Boys of Summer Tournament next July, contact Dean Kane at ct16@greenbaynet.com. Thanks to Circle Tap for their support of the broadcast program.
Welcome back here as we get set for the home half of the sixth inning. Gators will send the 7, 8, 9 hitters to the plate here, trailing by a run, 5-4 to the three-time defending champs from Hill United. Lance Winn Kris Abbott, glad you've joined us here on the ISC Network.
Yeah, bottom third of the order, Thomas Anoka has a hit. Thomas Makia has a hit.
So the bottom of the order has been effective for these Gators as they put up a run in every inning but the fifth. And trail now 5-4. So a slow roller. Nikki Shales takes that in foul territory. So Thomas Inoka will have to bring her back and re-rack him.
Nobody has left the ballpark here. Standing room only at Milton Field inside the Green Valley Sports Complex. Excellent crowds all week. And excellent crowds online. Thanks, folks, for joining us here on the network.
Certainly do, and we appreciate your feedback. And anytime you want to holler at Kris Abbott, feel free to do so. He's always open, anytime, day or night.
Complaints go to Lance Winn, compliments go to Kris Abbott.
Oh, youngster, you know it doesn't work that way. That ball is fouled. You're going to have to take the good with the bad. So I'll let you have the compliments, but you got to take the complaints too. Or pass to Blair Setford.
That's right.
It's always a good option.
Google Blair Setford. You'll find his email address. He needs more emails in his life.
You're absolutely right. You know that? I couldn't agree with you more. 1-2 the count, and that pitch missing up. So a good pitch from Folkert runs the count even at 2-2 to Thomas Anoka.
And Blair Setford's cell phone battery must come from the planet Krypton, because I've never seen anything get so much use.
Well, a lot of people got to blame Blair for stuff. Adam Folkert rises barehanded. You're not going to get Thomas Anoka. Probably. And you know, when you're in the heat of the action, you're going for the ball. But had Adam left that, chances are Todd Hunter would have got to it and recorded the out. But not the case, as Thomas Inoka with an infield hit to lead off the inning now, and that'll bring up Thomas Macchia, and clearly what I feel is a bunt situation.
Yeah, and the veteran won't be afraid to put the bunt down at all for the betterment of the team. Yeah, you saw James Todhunter and Adam Folkert talking after that play. I would score it an infield single because Folkert, it was a tough play or whatever. I don't know if he'll get an error or a hit on it. But it really doesn't matter at this point as Thomas Anoka is on first with nobody out.
So setting and taking a rip, but a one-hopper to Todhunter, over to second, over to first, not in time. So a good stretch from Mullally, but not able to turn the 6-4-3 double play. Instead, though, they do get the lead runner.
That was a close play at second. I didn't know, but Anoka might be in there. And now I think we're going to see the end of Thomas Macchia's night, as he will be subbed out again after legging out the potential double play.
Looks like Aaron Trude will come in to run. And good speed on the base paths in Trudy. And Ty Sebastian now will be the hitter. And Ty, of course, 0 for 1 with a walk.
So the Gators getting deep into their bench. That's Trude, Houts, Schofield have all entered the game tonight. Jeremy O'Reilly is still there on the bench.
So one away here in the 6th inning. Ty Sebastian, the batter. Runner on first base in Aaron Trude. And Folkert starts him off with the ball low outside.
Ben Anoka with 2 RBI singles is on deck. With only 1 down here in the inning, it is likely he will get another shot.
That pitch bounced in there. So Folkert's in the hole now, 2-0.
All is quiet in the Hill United bullpen. This is Adam Folkert's game to win or lose.
And we kind of thought that coming in that was going to be the case. We felt that the same scenario applied for Sean Cleary, but not the case. So a little twist to the plan here as Folkert comes back with a strike. And it'll be interesting if this game holds the way it is right now, and Justin Schofield having given up the winning run. You might ask why, but you're going to ask why anyway, considering what Cleary had done up to the point of time where he was removed from the ball game.
Well, knowing Sean Cleary, if it was indeed his decision to come out, it would have to be an injury or complete fatigue. But if it was indeed the coaching staff's decision.
A little late on that pitch was Sebastian fouled it off the back screen.
If it's indeed the coaching staff's decision, it could very well be that you want to give them a different look the third time through. They did score 4 runs off Sean. And aside from the leadoff home run to Brad Ezekiel, Justin Schofield has done just fine for himself.
So 2-2 the count here to the number 9 hitter in Ty Sebastian. 1 out, and Folkert brought it inside. Sebastian tried to check his swing. It just went off the hands of the bat, foul.
And now Terry Bader's going to come down and ask if it hit him. And Sebastian says no.
No, clearly it didn't, or he would have been in some pain. It would have went off his hand.
Yeah, I don't know many guys hit with an Adam Folkert rise ball that are just standing there like nothing happened.
No, because something happened. So you're absolutely right. Hard to fake one of those. 2-2 the count. Bottom of the 6th inning. Gators. 5 outs. So all they have left is that ball is chopped foul.
Sebastian doing a great job staying alive here against Folkert. Trude, you can tell, with some good wheels over on the one bag. I'd say he's tied on over there for now, but should the ball get on the ground, he'll make it difficult on the infielders.
Very good speed in Aaron Trude. The 2-2 missing down and in. So the count run full here to Ty Sebastian.
This is a crucial pitch in this game, Lance. Full count with one away, and Ben Anoka, who's been all over Adam Folkert tonight, on deck.
Certainly don't want to see Ben with one away. And that pitch, as Trude goes, no matter. Folkert with a walk to Sebastian. And up will step Ben Anoka. 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. And a one-run ball game right here. And it'll be meeting time.
Well, we saw John Hill start the runner on a full count with 1 out earlier in the game. Terry Bader follows suit. John comes out to Adam. He's got a white towel in his hand, just maybe trying to dry everybody off, especially the pitcher out on the humid night.
Well, you certainly want to slow things down here. 1 out, 2 men on. You're leading by a run here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And you got to figure that Adam's going to need something either in the dirt here or a strikeout would be the most opportune thing for him to get. And again, just a talking to, slow down, catch your breath, and get back to work as the meeting is adjourned.
Yeah, and there's not much John Hill can say to Adam Folkert right there. John Hill isn't a world-class pitcher, but what he can do is offer words of encouragement to both Adam and the entire infield. Make sure they're all on track, and make sure they all know what they're doing with the ball on the ground here with 1 out and runners on first and second.
Well, a lot of people don't realize, but in this sport, you need to know what you're doing long before it happens. And here we go, Ben Anoka and Adam Folkert. And he starts him off with a pitch outside for ball 1. They're going to check down, but I don't think that was even close. One ball, no strikes. And that pitch inside for a called strike. So 1-1 to count. 2 good pitches from Folkert. Went outside for a ball, then came back in and busted Ben Anoka inside for a strike. And chasing that rise ball was Anoka. He knew it. Definitely ball 2, but sometimes awfully tough to lay off that pitch.
Yeah, that one shook our camera. Actually might have helped straighten up our shot a little bit. So big at bat in this game, though. Ben Anoka has been giving Adam Folkert fits, and he's right on the ball again here at this juncture.
Set for the 1-2. And a swing, and just got a piece of it was Anoka to stay alive. And Folkert put just a little bit extra on that one.
I think the key is, though, that Anoka's now fouled off 3 pitches. He took 1 strike on the inside part of the plate because he didn't have to or want to swing at it. Folkert's not fooling him.
So the battle rages on here. 1-2 the count to Ben Anoka, the leadoff hitter for the Toronto Gators. Down a run here in the 6th. And Folkert comes in tight. So a good purpose pitch there. 2-2.
Anoka is fully locked in on Adam Folkert. Even though he had to move to get away from the ball, his head was still square on the Hill U pitcher.
2-2 driven up, and a good play by Southern. Flip over to second. No chance to get the runner at first, but that was a nifty play. Flip with the glove from Joel Southern. And man, oh man, that's why this team has won 3 championships, and Joel Southern may be the best pickup in the recent years by the Hill United Chiefs.
That is an all-world defensive play. Everyone giving Southern some knucks on that one. Even Jason Sanford comes out to second base to thank him for saving them from yet another Ben Anoka RBI single.
So Aaron Trude is erased, and Ty Sebastian will move over to third base while Ben Anoka sits at first on the fielder's choice, and with 2 away. That'll bring up Brandon Horn. And the Gators looking for a clutch hit here. 2 out, 2 aboard, 1-run game. And Folkert stays outside on Horn. 1 ball, no strikes.
Keep an eye on Ben Anoka at first base. He could very well try and get the infield moving, and as well at the same time try and get himself in the scoring position.
We'll see if he's on the move here. Good wheels as that pitch slapped through the hole, and going to be a long throw. Not in time. Beaten out by Brandon Horn. An RBI single, and we've got ourselves a tie ball game, 5-5.
Well, that is a great play all around. James Todhunter had to go deep into the hole. Brandon Horn got there as quick as he could. Steve Mullally with a great stretch, and also an excellent call by first base umpire Mike Morrissey. Great action all around the park. John Hill's going out for the requisite question to see if he was safe or out. That's not going to change, but it's John Hill's duty to go ask for a second opinion.
Well, he can go get a second opinion for sure. I think Horn was pretty emphatic on that last step, made sure that there would be no question that he beat that throw, but really tough for James Todhunter, who was deep in the hole, to come up with that ball. Nick Shales, when it went by Nick Shales, you knew it was going to be a tough play. And either way, the game is tied, and it's Ryan Boland now with a chance to up the lead with a hit as that ball gets away from Sanford, and runners move up.
Now you've got Ben Anoka on third, Brandon Horn on second, and Ryan Boland, who's as clutch as they come, with 2 runners in scoring position, and he's ahead in the count on Adam Folkert. John Hill has already used up his visit to the mound, and Pablo Migliavaca is back working in the Hill United bullpen.
So Ryan Boland here, 1 for 3, has a single and scored a run. 2 ducks on the pond here with 2 away. Big rally for these Gators, and a swing and a miss for Boland.
It's power versus power here, Folkert versus Boland. I'm really excited to see who comes out on top. This has just been an amazing game here, Lance Winn.
Outstanding ball game, you're right. No argument there. Just what we expected. And Folkert missing up high. You can see that Gators bench over there, and they're pretty jacked up. And 3-time defending champs, they've been there before, so I don't expect them to be rattled at all. 2 balls, 1 strike. And that ball gets away. Another run's going to come in. Horn's going to take a big turn, but you talk about changing the complexion here, Chris, and wouldn't have expected a wild pitch to bring in the go-ahead run.
Speechless. The crowd reaction says it all right there. 2 in this at-bat, moving the runners up 2 bases each. And Adam Folkert is human after all.
You know what? This is probably, you're right, the first time in a while that we've seen a human Adam Folkert at the World Tournament. And 3-1 count here to Ryan Boland. And a runner on third, and can ill-advise to get down 2 runs here if Boland can deliver. And that ball's lifted out deep, and settling under it and making the grab out there was Mark Johnson. So a big inning, though, on a deep fly ball from Ryan Boland, but it's all about the clutch hitting and more so the opportunities created by the Gators. They put up a couple runs. They now lead 6-5. Man, how things change. Back in a moment.
Think about the greatest tournaments and championships played in fastball. Remember the players who have been at the highest pinnacle of our game, like Adam Folkert and Andrew Kirkpatrick. Gorilla Gold was there helping them win. What has been a closely guarded secret by the most prominent players is now available for you. We're ready to give you a hand to play at your best in all conditions. Visit us online at GorillaGold.com to order your Gorilla Gold products today.
For all your team uniform and equipment needs, fastball, slow pitch, and hockey, for players and teams, make sure you visit Corbett's Source for Sports on the South Service Road in Oakville, Ontario. There's a lot of deals to be had on all kinds of equipment. Thank you to Paul Hurd and Corbett's Source for Sports for their generous sponsorship of the broadcast program.
So we're back here and get set, ready, go here for the top of the 7th inning. And leading this game all game was the Hill United Chiefs up until the bottom of the 6th when the Gators responded with 2, and they have now taken a 6-5 lead. So 3 outs to get for Justin Schofield, and it'll be the number 9 hitter in Jason Sanford. Then back to the top of the shop in Bradley Ezekiel and Nico Kirill. So we'll see here what the clutch Gators have in store here, trailing by a run.
Well, the excitement is certainly palpable here on the park. Justin Schofield is now in the biggest situation of his pitching career.
So 1 ball the count to Sanford. And a swing and a miss. So Schofield comes back to even the count up at 1-1.
Sanford is Schofield's catcher for Team Nova Scotia. These guys know each other very well.
So interesting matchup here as Schof tries to go in the upper part of the strike zone and catches it for strike 2. 1-2 the count.
Both teams are up in their respective dugouts, leaning on the fence.
So a trip to the final on the line here. And a swing and a miss. Down goes Sanford. Schofield with the first out of the top of the 7th inning. And it comes via the strikeout. And Schofield with 4 strikeouts since he's entered the ball game. And he's got his hands full now with Bradley Ezekiel, who greeted Schofield with a leadoff home run in the 5th inning.
So much so that he's earned a visit from Terry Bader. Great respect being shown for Brad Ezekiel, who has, as you said, one of the 2 hits off Schofield since entering the game.
Actually, he's 3 for 3 today. He's got a single, scored in the 1st, doubled in the 2nd, and led off the 5th with a home run. So they haven't been able to get Ezekiel out yet. And trailing by a run, this is a big at-bat here for Justin Schofield and the Toronto Gators. And not chasing that first pitch was Ezekiel, and he takes it for ball 1.
That was close. Getting Ezekiel is key here because Nico Kirill behind him is 0 for 3 in tonight's game.
So what they need is a base runner, unless Ezekiel can do what he usually does, and he looks at a called strike. That, of course, taking the ball over the fence.
That's 2 hard drop balls from Justin Schofield. That's his best pitch.
I think you got to go with your best here. And a swing and a miss. So Schofield gassed that one up. Put a little extra on it and got Ezekiel to swing through. And now he's up in the count 1-2.
Nobody knows Brad Ezekiel's tendencies better than Ryan Boland.
The 1-2's driven out deep, and going back. Get out of this ballpark. Another home run for Bradley Ezekiel. And boy, oh boy, you talk about clutch. We got ourselves a 6-6 ball game.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me here tonight? This game is going to go down in ISC World Tournament history. Brad Ezekiel, the man's heart rate doesn't go above resting.
4 for 4, Ezekiel. You want to talk about having himself a ball game. He has been a one-man wrecking crew, and I don't know. I think maybe you had to put that guy on because you can't get him out.
Well, that's certainly going to be an option if it comes around to the next at bat for Brad Ezekiel.
And options are good. Options are definitely good. So Nico Carrill now, as that pitch is taken for a ball. So talk about drama here. No one has left this ballpark. And inside, but missing is Scof. So the count now 2-0.
Nico Carrill, as I mentioned, hasn't reached base yet tonight. Is he due, or is he just having an off night? We're about to find out.
I don't know. The building's still shaking from that home run. And people are in shock. The Gators are in shock as Carrill shoots one through the left side. Base hit. So here come the Chiefs as back-to-back hits now. And they've got a man on for Nick Shales. Meat of the order here as Shales, the number 3 hitter. He is 1 for 2. He's got a home run and a walk.
The option is there to re-enter Sean Cleary if you're the Toronto Gators, but he is not throwing to get loose. This is Justin Schofield's game to win or lose.
Well, they have options, but I don't think that's one of them. And we'll see what happens here as Schofield goes up against one of the best hitters in the game in Nick Shales as he starts him off with the ball down. So the drama continues here as the Chiefs have tied it up here in the top of the 7th inning. And that pitch, a good rip from Shales, but fouls it back. Looking ahead, of course, to the bottom of the inning, it'll be Wayne Laulu, Brad Rona, and Shane Boland, scheduled 3. So the meet up for the Gators in the home half of this inning, but right now some work to do as Justin Schofield has one away and a runner aboard. And that pitch is a squibbler and foul. Boland wasted no time getting out of his crouch and pouncing on that ball. So as we expected, Chris, this game could be going down to the last at bat, and who gets that maybe who is the winner of this game. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count to Nick Shales.
Well, the Toronto Gators will bat last in this game, we know that, but that's the only thing we know right now. 6-6, nobody would have expected this coming into tonight's game.
So Scof taking some extra time here, and he's set now. And that pitch is fouled again. So Nick Shales having a good at-bat, making Schofield throw a lot of pitches, even though the count remains 1-2.
I don't know how many times Nick Shales would have been in against Justin Schofield. Schofield only the last couple of years really on the ISC circuit. And, of course, Shales wouldn't have seen him with the Toronto Gators before because this is just his first year.
Well, you never know because these guys certainly get around, and when you talk about a lot of the major tournaments in Ontario, you have a lot of times the best players playing it, and sometimes they're not playing with their regular team, but they'll play with a local team, and therefore they will get the exposure and experience that they need to help them along the way to eventually put their skills on display here as Schofield in and down goes Nick Shales. So a good pitch from Justin Schofield. And in will step Steve Mullally. And Mullally 0 for 3 today. Reached base in the 3rd on a fielder's choice. But when Mullally's 0 for 3 and you say, well, he's due.
Well, this is exactly what we were talking about with Steve Mullally earlier. The biggest stage, the biggest moments. And it doesn't get any bigger than this right now at this year's ISC World Tournament.
So important here for Schofield to be careful with the dangerous hitting Steve Mullally up. And that pitch is fouled. Lawley with a big twist there.
I was just going to say the same thing. You talk about turning on the pitch. He was actually facing the on-deck circle of the Toronto Gators when he finished.
So got to keep that head in there, and behind in the count now 0-1 is Steve Mullally. The 0-1 pitch, driven to second base. A good play by Brandon Horn, and you're going to have to be a hit to get it by him as he records the out, but not before. The Hill United Chiefs put one up on the board and tie this ball game. 6-6 to score, headed to the bottom of the seventh.
Sometimes people worry about asking for help because there can be a stigma around mental health problems.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
They might believe that asking for help means admitting that something's wrong.
Trust your teammates. Trust your teammates.
Some people worry about how others might see them.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
Asking for help means that you want to make changes and take the first steps towards better mental health.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
We should celebrate the courage it takes to speak up and make changes.
Trust your teammates. Trust your teammates.
Getting help is part of recovery.
Trust your teammates. Trust your teammates.
Mental health isn't something you need to keep to yourself. Talk to a friend. Trust your teammates. You're not alone.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
The first steps may be the toughest, but knowing where to look for help is a good start. Community mental health organizations like the Canadian Mental Health Association or Mental Health America offer resources and programs that can help you. Visit cmha.ca or mentalhealthamerica.net to find a branch in your community.
And remember,
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
So back here at the Green Valley Sports Complex, 6-6 ball game. We are headed to the bottom of the seventh inning, and the drama continued here as the Hill United Chiefs got a solo shot from Brad Ezekiel, his second home run of the ball game, and tied things up. So a new pitcher for the Hill United Chiefs. It'll be Pablo Migliavaca, takes over for Adam Fulkert, and he will face Wayne Laulu, followed by Brad Rona and Shane Boland. So welcome to the ball game, Mr. Migliavaca.
Another interesting development in a game full of interesting developments, that's for sure.
And that pitch is in there for a called strike.
So the talk about individual achievements at a time like this seems a little bit wrong, but we would be remiss not to mention that Adam Fulkert's win streak is intact because Migliavaca will be saddled with the decision however way this shakes out.
And hat comes off, a bit of a change up there, misses, so the count 1-1. So not sure if Migliavaca planned that, and a little bit of a distraction for Laulu, but if he did, that's quite the talent, making the hat come off at the same time he releases the ball.
Little misdirection, sleight of hand, some magic, but it didn't work out.
And that pitch dipped over the outside corner for a strike. And Laulu acknowledges that, and the count now 1-2.
Well, much like Justin Schofield was a different look for the Hill United hitters, Pablo Migliavaca a very different look for the Toronto Gators.
1-2, and down goes Laulu, strikeout victim, and getting the first out of the inning is Migliavaca, and in will step one of the hottest hitters in this ball game in Brad Rona. 2 for 3 with a single and an RBI in the first and a home run in the third.
So much like Brad Ezekiel the inning before, the hitter behind Brad Rona, Shane Boland, 0 for 3 with 3 Ks. Got to be careful here. The game's on the line.
And Migliavaca starts Rona off with a strike. It has been one heck of a roller coaster ride here and an outstanding ball game. Undefeated game, supposed to be, and both these two teams have lived up to it, and we're not done yet as that pitch down runs the count now to 1-1.
We talked about it before. Brad Rona, no stranger to clutch situations. He certainly has the advantage over Migliavacca at this juncture.
And Migliavacca staying way outside to Rona. Took something off that, tried to bend it on the outside corner. And again, an off-speed pitch. Floats that in there for a strike. So a good pitch from Migliavacca, who pulled the changeup out of his hat.
Rona turned around and had a quick word with Kevin Wallace, but did it calmly.
And tried to dip that down, and that's a ball low, so the count now full, 3-2. Rona's had some good at-bats here in this ball game. Hasn't chased any pitches out of the strike zone and been very patient. And that one is fouled back. So a very dangerous hitter here in Rona, able to win this ball game with one swing of the bat.
Rona, much like Ben Anoka and Ty Sebastian earlier, we saw them fighting through with two strikes, not willing to strike out, chasing a bad pitch. So while he's protecting, Rona's still taking good swings.
So we'll do it all again, full count here. Migliavacca and Brad Rona. And Migliavacca misses down. So a runner on in Brad Rona here with one out. And that will bring up Shane Boland.
I think we're going to see a pinch runner come on for Brad Rona here.
Probably be a good idea.
Looks like Jeremy O'Reilly. No, it is Dante Matacatur.
So Matacatea, good wheels out there. So some good speed with Matacatea at first base, and Shane Boland, I imagine, at the very least needs to move the runner along and set the stage potentially for Thomas Inoka or whoever they decide to send up.
Well, Shane Boland is not sad to see Adam Folkert out of the game. Folkert struck Boland out twice, or rather 3 times.
So I'd say he's okay about Adam not being there.
So a fresh start for Shane Boland.
At first pitch from Migliavacca in there for a strike. A bit of an unorthodox delivery from Migliavacca. Really falls off to the left side. And sometimes he brings that pitch with him and drags it across the outside corner to right-handed batters. And that pitch is swung on and missed, strike 2. So got to be careful here. No inclination of a bunt attempt from Shane Boland.
No, and Boland is a very, very good bunter, but clearly hitting away in this situation with one down and a runner on.
So Migliavacca sets 0-2 count to Shane Boland. And missing up. So a good 0-2 pitch runs the count to 1-2.
Very tense moments here at the Green Valley Sports Complex on all sides.
And took something off, and Boland, you could check it. I'm pretty sure he went around there and home plate umpire Kevin Wallace made the call on his own. So 2 away now.
And Shane Boland's wearing the golden sombrero here tonight. He's not going to be pleased with that.
Definitely not, as Thomas Inoka will step in with 2 away and a runner on. 6-6 the score here. We're in the bottom of the 7th. His first look here at Pablo Migliavaca. And that pitch up the middle, base hit. So rounding second into third is Matakatea on a 2-out single from Thomas Inoka. And now there will be a conference because you've got Thomas Macchia slated to come up here. And it looks like there will be a pinch hitter.
Macchia's place in the lineup is due up, but if you recall, he was pinch ran for twice, so he is out of the game. Aaron Trude is going to hit with runners on first and third and 2 down.
So Trude will get a chance here to be the hero. And wouldn't that be something? Of course, Trude, an everyday player, but with this Gators lineup has had to take a bit of a back seat, and funny how things come full circle as he's got a chance here to end this ball game with a hit.
Not to be lost in this is the great base running of Dante Mudakatur. He went first to third on a single to Brad Ezekiel in center field. With 2 down and the ball through the infield, he was sprinting and now can score on a ball to the screen.
Well, that's the benefit to having the play in front of you. He could see the distance between Bradley Ezekiel in center and the ball and did a good job. So Aaron Trude here against Pablo Migliavaca, who misses up in the zone. So 1 ball, no strikes.
Winning this game is even more important now, Lance. We've seen both starters completely exhausted and out of the game. So whoever loses is going to have to play an extra one tomorrow.
And it will take its toll, no doubt here. And Migliavaca missing down. So 2-0 the count to Aaron Trude. Ty Sebastian on deck, the number 9 hitter. And I've always said that Trude, one of the better hitters in the bottom of the batting order. And that pitch is on the corner for a strike. So Trude clearly taking all the way and decided that was a good idea and make Migliavaca throw him at least 1 strike, and now we can go to work with a 2-1 count. 2-1, runners on the corners, tie ball game, bottom of the 7th. And Trude drives that up the middle, and that's called by Bradley Ezekiel. A shoestring grab robs Aaron Trude of the game-winning hit. And my, oh my, we've seen some offense from him, but that was some of the best defense I have ever seen out in center. Clutch grab. We're tied and going to inning number 8.
If a man runs for president, interviews for a high-level job, or needs a good table at a smart restaurant, chances are he'll be wearing a suit. Mr. Ned is your custom tailor in New York City. Located at 137 Fifth Avenue, we provide our clients with the highest quality custom suits at affordable pricing. Our range of fabrics is second to none and will fit the needs of any well-dressed professional. Whether it be everyday business attire or a special occasion, we have the ability to make you a man of distinction. Visit the store at 137 Fifth Avenue in New York or see us online at MrNedNYC.com. We thank Mr. Ned and Varn Matosian for generously supporting the broadcast program.
Free means different things to different people. Free is the laughter we share together. Free are the tears of joy on that special day. Free is the ability to express yourself. Free is the air dancing around your fingers. Free feels good, and so does saving. At First Ontario Credit Union, our members always get free checking, free ATM use, free debit, free deposits, free e-statements, and new members get a free gift. Visit freeisgood.ca and get money doing better for you at First Ontario Credit Union.
Welcome back here to the Green Valley Sports Complex, where one heck of a ball game has unfolded. The undefeated game. Winner of this game, of course, will head to tomorrow's championship final. The loser will drop down and have to play one more game to get there, but 6-6 tie here in the 8th, and Jason Hill laces that one foul off the dugout on the right side. So it'll be Jason Hill, Mark Johnson, and James Todhunter. The drama that unfolded in the bottom of that 7th inning with the winning run on third and Aaron Trude with a line drive to center, and Brad Ezekiel with a diving catch to preserve this ball game, as Hill again pulling that one foul down and over the right field fence.
Yeah, that was one of the best plays I've ever seen, and frankly, Lance, this is one of the best ball games I've ever seen. You said the undefeated game, 7 innings done, and both teams are still undefeated. Wow.
It certainly says something, and having a loss for words, there really isn't any shame in that, I tell you, because there have been some plays here in this game that have taken your breath away. And sure, you can second guess, but these guys have put it all on the line as Schofield, outside corner, down goes Jason Hill. He's not happy with it, but looked like a good pitch from our vantage point, and that'll bring up Mark Johnson, the number 6 hitter.
That was a great pitch, and that's where Schofield lives against left-handed hitters out on that side of the plate, and that was his bread and butter, and he split Ryan Boland in two. Kevin Wallace had no choice but to ring up Jason Hill.
So Mark Johnson not faring as well as he did the other night, 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Nobody on here, 1 out in the top of the 8th inning. 6-6 ball game. And these guys have been out here playing their hearts out since this game started.
We're approaching 11 o'clock local time. This game started just after 8 o'clock local.
And a swing and a miss. Good pitch from Schofield. And the count now, no balls, 1 strike. And chasing that one was Johnson, and you can see hampered obviously by that groin injury, and you can just tell that it's affected his swing as he strikes out for the 3rd time here tonight. And with 2 out, that'll bring up James Todhunter. And can't say enough about what Schofield's done, with the exception of giving up those 2 home runs to Brad Ezekiel since he's coming in the 5th. He's been lights out for everybody else, and that one is going to find its way. But range and a good effort there from Brandon Horn, and there could be obstruction called.
There's definitely grounds for Brandon Horn to get second base here, and John Hill and Larry Lynch are going to ask about that as Brad Rona came across. No, they're going to say it was just part of the play. Todhunter's at first. I saw John Hill come over and give the swinging motion. I would be shocked if that wasn't to Dale Levy to maybe pinch hit for Jason Sanford should his turn come up.
Well, I don't think he's going to pinch hit for Joel Southern.
No, he's not that silly.
Good ball game. So either way, you've got 2 out and a runner on now for Joel Southern. 1 for 3 with a home run. That seemed to come a day ago, but it actually happened in the 2nd inning. So a runner on, 2 out here. 6-6 ball game, top of the 8th inning. Lance Winn Kris Abbott. And that ball is a 1-hopper to short, flip over to second in time. So the Gators stand tall and get the 3 outs. And we're headed now to the bottom of the 8th. Gators a chance to win the ball game when we come back.
Murphy's Fish and Chips is not only a great place to get some of the best seafood in Canada, but is also one of the best fastball sponsors in the game. Voted Nova Scotia's best fish and chips by Eastlink TV, Murphy's is a family institution since 1996 and a proud fastball sponsor of many Canadian and ISC championship teams. Open 7 days a week. Come join us for our famous English-style fish and chips or any of our daily specials. Murphy's is located at 88 Esplanade in Truro, Nova Scotia. We thank Dave T. Anderson and Murphy's Fish and Chips for their commitment to fastball and the broadcast program.
First Nations Payment Systems strives to deliver innovative and secure solutions that benefit merchants everywhere. We can help you decrease your costs and increase your revenues. With more than 1 million merchant locations using the First Nations Payment Systems platform worldwide, you can't go wrong by making the switch. When you partner with First Nations Payments, your clients will benefit from our world-class payment experts, support staff, and cutting-edge technologies. To learn more about how First Nations Payments can help your organization, contact us through our website at firstnationspayments.ca. We thank First Nations Payments for their generous sponsorship of the broadcast program.
Back here at the Green Valley Sports Complex, we've got an epic one here. 6-6, bottom of the 8th inning. And it'll be Ty Sebastian to lead things off here for the Gators as he swings through, gets a piece of it, fouls it off for strike one. Sebastian walked in the second, grounded out in the fourth, walked and scored in the sixth.
Yeah, big test for Pablo Migliavaca now. Ty Sebastian followed by Ben Anoka and Brandon Horn. And the Toronto Gators are coming right into the part of the lineup where they want to be.
That pitch from Migliavaca just caught the outside part of the plate for strike two. So Sebastian's got some work to do in the hole now, 0-2. Gators would love to see a runner on. Or I think they take a home run too, one of the above, as inside on the hand, swing and a miss. So down goes Sebastian. And that'll take it back to the top of the shop in Benanoka.
Can't say enough about the grace under fire of both Pablo Migliavaca and Justin Schofield being thrown in an intensely high-pressure situation, and they're both performing admirably.
Right into the fire for sure. Anoka flied out in the first, singled and cashed in a run in the second, singled, cashed in a run in the fourth, and reached base on a fielder's choice in the sixth and ended up scoring a run. So he's been in the middle of everything. And Migliavaca staying away. That pitch missing outside, ball one.
Yeah, Ben Anoka has definitely been one of the most dangerous hitters for the Gators in tonight's game. And you don't want to see him on the base pass now.
1-0 inside for a called strike. 1-1 the count. And you're right, Chris, definitely a high pressure situation that both these two pitchers have come in. Forget the fact that you've got to take over for one of the best in the world, but to hold your own against one of the best hitting lineups is shot for three hopper. Southern over to first in time. So solid defense there from the Chiefs. 4-3 on the putout, and that will bring up Brandon Horn.
It's a big at-bat now for Migliavaca as well. You want to keep Brandon Horn off the bags with Ryan Boland on base. And if you have to, you'd rather face Ryan Boland leading off the inning than with Brandon Horn out there looking to score.
So Horn walked and got gunned down at the plate in the first. Fielder's choice in the second. Grounded out in the fourth and singled and cashed in a run in the sixth. And that pitch is fouled off. Good bat control from Ryan Boland in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, just out of our screen there. The foul ball was coming right at his face, and he neatly bunted it back to the pitcher's mound.
So back in the left side batter's box is Brandon Horn, all-world second baseman. And that pitch looked pretty good. Took something off it, and it misses though, so the count now 2-1.
Nick Shales walking across the infield to A, tell his pitcher that that was a great pitch, and B, let the umpire know that the MVP ain't happy.
And let the umpire know that was a great pitch. Well, you're right. Looked pretty good from this vantage point, but that pitch lifted up, and it's carrying and tracking that down out there is Mark Johnson, and he records the out. So a good job there done by Pablo Migliavaca as he induces Brandon Horn to fly out to deep left and end the inning. And just like that, we're going to mosey on down to the 9th after this short break.
Free means different things to different people. Free is the laughter we share together. Free are the tears of joy on that special day. Free is the ability to express yourself. Free is the air dancing around your fingers. Free feels good, and so does saving. At First Ontario Credit Union, our members always get free checking, free ATM use, free debit, free deposits, free e-statements, and new members get a free gift. Visit freeisgood.ca and get money doing better for you at First Ontario Credit Union.
Whatever your delivery requirements are across North America, Skelton Truck Lines provides you with reliable, safe, and high-quality service at a fair price. Skelton Truck Lines equipment is satellite tracked and delivers small parcel, less than truckload, and expedited shipments throughout Canada and the U.S. With over 50 years of experience and more than 50 trucks serving 4 divisions, Skelton Truck Lines is a thriving Ontario business and a proud Fastball sponsor. Visit us online at skeltontruck.com. Thanks to Mike Skelton for supporting the broadcast program.
Welcome back here as Justin Schofield's just finishing his warm-up pitches. He's already almost thrown a whole ball game coming in relief. We're in the top of the 9th inning. And it'll be the number 9 hitter in Jason Sanford, then back to the top of the shop in Nico Kirill. So it's been a really good ball game, and just to recap, Hill put up 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the 5th, and then 1 in the 7th. The Gators put up 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the 4th, then 2 in the 6th. So here we are now in the 9th, tie ball game. And Jason Sanford facing Justin Schofield. Sanford squares, takes that pitch, and it's a ball outside.
Sanford's 0 for 3 on the night. They were looking like they were going to pinch hit for him if his spot came up with runners on in the last inning, but they'll keep Dale Levy's bat on the bench in case they need it later on.
And that's a big weapon to sit on if Red can get a hold of one. As Schofield takes out the mascot, and the count now 2-0.
Yeah, Schofield looking back at the mound saying, I need to blame something here. He'll go back and kick the dirt over the hole left by Migliavaca.
Well, if there hasn't been problems with that landing pad throughout the week, I'd say maybe, but he probably does have a legitimate case. Big guy out there and working that landing spot.
Oh yeah, the big hoss moves a lot of dirt out there, that's for sure.
2 balls, no strikes. And he misses up. So 3-0 the count to the number 9 hitter in Jason Sanford.
Yeah, Schofield's got his work cut out for him to get back into this count now. Leadoff walks are bad. Leadoff walks to the 9 hitter, they're real bad.
So 3-0 trying to battle back and get in this count. And he misses up and in. So a 4-pitch walk to Sanford. And that will bring up the leadoff hitter, Bradley Ezekiel. And if I go through these numbers, I don't know if I should, because there will be a meeting This is a guy 4 for 4, singled and scored in the first, doubled in the second, homered in the fifth, and then homered in the seventh to tie the ball game. Forget the fact that he's also thrown in a diving, game-saving catch, and you've got yourselves just another night at the office for Bradley Ezekiel.
Yeah, laser beam throw to the plate way back in the first that Ryan Boland avoided.
As he takes a hack at the first pitch and just got under it. Schofield calling for it but gets called off. And a good job by Shane Boland to take control out there, as Justin Schofield was very enthusiastically getting himself underneath that pop fly.
You could see the sheer panic on Schofield's face from where we're sitting about 100 feet away. And I believe Rod Peterson, the Hall of Fame manager from the Farm Tavern, would have said, if we were playing in a grain silo, that one was gone.
Well put. Nico Carrill now got his first hit in the seventh. And with a runner on, he looks at a first pitch strike.
Yeah, Schofield spilling in that hard dipper. Shoots down about 4 or 5 inches just before the plate.
Well, Schofield's got to be relieved that Ezekiel's out of the way here. Seen the guy twice, and he's hit 2 home runs off you in the same game, and just got under that pitch. As he nibbles on the outside corner, doesn't come up with any of the wood, and the count now 2-1.
So the important thing for Schofield is not to relax just because he got past his nemesis in Brad Ezekiel. Nico Carrill is chomping at the bit to make something happen here.
So 1 out, runner on, and Schofield missing out. So I believe it's a 2-1 count now. Got a little ahead of myself there. 1 away. And a runner on first base in Jason Sanford. And that pitch hung up there, and it's chopped foul.
Schofield gets away with hanging a changeup. Carrill chops it foul down the third base line, so a harmless strike.
And you're right, I think got away with a pitch there, as Carrill not able to keep that ball fair. Did hit it hard though, but couldn't keep it between the lines.
Well, the changeup did accomplish its goal. It got Carrill out on the front foot, and he was unable to, exactly as you said, keep it in between the chalk.
So it looks like it is a 2-2 count. And that pitch is lifted out deep and going back, but making a tough grab in the corner is Aaron Trude, brought in for his defense. And not only does he make a great running grab, but he got the ball in quick. Sanford not able to tag on the play, and there are 2 out.
Trude was a couple of steps into foul territory by the time he came up with that one, yeah, and he threw one about a foot off the ground all the way in, skipped into Shane Boland, and there's 2 down now. Sanford still running at first.
So Nick Shales steps in now, and no rest here for Justin Schofield. Shales homered in the first, walked in the second, grounded out in the fifth, and struck out looking in the seventh. So Shales will be looking to do a little something here with 2 out and a runner on. Not sure if they will put Sanford in motion, but you got to figure Schofield's work is not done here, as he's got to face another big bat in Nick Shales, and he comes inside for a ball.
Sanford runs okay for a catcher. Anything in the gap should score him here, as with 2 out, he'll be going on the crack of the bat.
1 ball, no strikes to Nick Shales. And a swing and a miss. Good drop ball from Schofield. Runs the count even, 1-1.
This is the second time Shales has seen Schofield tonight, and he doesn't seem to be picking up the ball all that well coming out of Justin's hand. But Nick can adjust pretty well. We'll see how he does the rest of the at-bat.
And Schofield, the rise ball. Put a little extra on that, missing up. 2-1.
Here in the ninth inning, everything is that much more magnified, and there's a trip to the championship game on the line to boot.
And he bends that one in there for a called strike. So the count even at 2-2.
Shales thought that one was inside. He's now facing a 2-2 count with 2 down.
And that gets away, so Sanford's going to make his way down to second. And now a base hit could give the Hill United Chiefs the lead if Nick Shales can come up clutch here with the count full, 3-2.
Pressure squarely on the back of Justin Schofield now. 3-2 count. He's got to come to Nick Shales because Steve Mullally is waiting on deck. The whole you got a base open thing doesn't really apply right now.
So back to work now is Justin Schofield. And he's going to take his time knowing the importance of this pitch here. Got to be a good one to a good hitter. And that ball fouled. So Shales had a really good cut at that pitch. Schofield might have to do something a little different if he's going to get Nick Shales.
Well, Shales understood that Schofield's best pitch was the outside drop ball. He went for it. He got a piece of it, but just directed it high up into the screen, foul.
So the count's still full. 2 away here. We're in the top of the ninth inning. 6-6 the score. Hill United Chiefs, Toronto Gators battling it out for a trip to the final. And that ball again fouled off. So Shales battling Schofield hard here. Has seen a lot of pitches in this at bat. And we will see something has to eventually give. And Shales has been pretty good, as he always has. One thing about Shales, consistency is one of his strengths. And he waves at that. A good pitch from Justin Schofield. Inside corner. Left Shales with nothing to do but wave at it. And we're headed to the bottom of the ninth. Tied 6-6. More to come.
The law firm of Fireman Steinmetz Daya built its reputation on getting fair compensation for victims of serious personal injury or catastrophic claims. With a combined 90 years of experience and a fierce dedication to achieving results, Fireman lawyers have recovered millions of dollars every year for our clients. Whether you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident, a slip and fall, or as a result of any other act of negligence, when we represent you, we're committed to getting the results you deserve. With the lawyers at Fireman Steinmetz Daya, you are not alone. Contact us through firemanlawyers.com for a free consultation. No legal fees are billed until you receive your settlement. We thank Jack Fireman for his generous sponsorship of the broadcast program.
Back here as we get set for the home half of the ninth inning. Tie ball game. It'll be the 3-4-5 hitters for the Toronto Gators trying to punch their ticket to tomorrow's final. It'll be Wayne Laulu, followed by Brad Rona and Shane Boland. So the meat of the order up. They have done some damage here in this game, and it looks like, Boland will lead it off. Ryan, followed by Laulu, and then Brad Rona.
Well, this is right where you want to be right now, with a chance to win the game in the bottom of the inning for the Toronto Gators. Your 3 top power hitters coming up, and you only need 1 run.
So Ryan Boland Singleton scored in the first, grounded out in the second, grounded out in the fourth, and flied out in the sixth. Looks at a called strike. Here in the bottom of the ninth inning, Gators would love to end it here.
Yeah, early is getting late. 20 after 11 local time here in Moline.
Getting late, young fella. You kidding me? This is late.
3 hours into this one, as a matter of fact, right now in the bottom of the ninth inning.
1 ball, 1 strike to count. Migliavacca has done a good job in relief of Adam Folker. And that ball goes off Migliavacca's knee. Hobbled a bit, but got the throw over there, knowing the importance. And just like that, one away here in the ninth.
I guess he did hobble a bit. He did his best job to close the 5-hole as Bolin drilled it back up the middle. Migliavacca got his body in front of it, trying to laugh it off with his teammates. Steve Mullally's asking for time for Migliavacca to walk off that line drive that caught him low.
Sure is, taking a couple practice jumps there as Wayne Laulu will be the batter, and you better not make a mistake to this guy or everyone will be going home.
Well, if you thought Wayne Laulu was taking hard swings earlier in the night, you can bet he's going to top out right now.
Sure about that here as Laulu 0 for 4. And surprisingly enough, but it just goes to show, been pitched to very well and very carefully as Migliavacca missing up and out.
Yeah, very carefully with that. It was about 7 feet high and 3 feet wide.
Making sure, just making sure. 1 ball, no strikes. And Laulu's going to call time. Migliavacca never left the rubber. Stayed on it. He's ready to go. And he goes outside again. 2-0 the count.
Being very careful with Laulu. Brad Rona's on deck, so much like the Hill United lineup, nowhere to put these guys.
No, you're just trying to minimize the damage. And we'll see here if they can do a 2-0 pitch. That ball's out deep, and it's going back, and it has a chance, and a home run! Wayne Laulu has won the ball game for the Toronto Gators. A walk-off home run, and they win it 7-6. They will punch their ticket to tomorrow's final in dramatic fashion. Told you the guy could end this ball game at any time, and he did just that. And what a ball game! And once you get your heart back up where it belongs, Chris, what are your final thoughts about one of the best ball games ever played?
Well, I'm just glad that we were here to cover it, Lance. That was absolutely amazing. Nobody can hang their head on either side, and all I can hope is we get to see these two teams do it all again tomorrow night.
Well, with that said, of course, that's going to do it for our broadcast here tonight, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Get ready. Toronto Gators will be in tomorrow's final, but we start our coverage 11 a.m. Make sure you're here. New York Gremlins, the BCAs. On behalf of my broadcast partners, Joe Todd, Blair Setford, and, of course, Kris Abbott, I'm Lance Winn. We will see you tomorrow.